Hi again, everybody, from Goss Stadium at Coleman Field on the campus of Oregon State University in Corvallis. The series finale between the Corvallis Knights and the Portland Pickles. We will take a quick break here now. The Albany Youth Orchestra is beginning our national anthem. We'll take care of some business now and talk about that when we return. A 2-minute break. The lineups and first pitch coming on a pleasant late Sunday afternoon in the Mid-Valley. Back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. .76 degrees, sunny. A big change, as you all know, who woke up this morning in the Mid-Valley. It was quite different. In fact, one of the first cool, cloudy, quite overcast mornings I've seen in the summer of 2024. But it was, I think, tipped off to us a little bit last night as the Knights were wrapping up their second straight win in this series over the Portland Pickles. It was indeed on the chilly side, the Knights winning 7-4 to clinch the series victory after winning 5-3 in the opener on Friday night. The Knights have separated themselves now by 3 games, which is in effect 4 over the Portland Pickles for best record in the West Coast League. But as the game was coming to an end, it was downright chilly here in the ballpark. We were not surprised to wake up thus to some cloudy conditions this morning, but a little bit like days in the Southland. The marine air, the overcast skies giving way to a sunny, beautiful late afternoon, and that's what we're experiencing now as the Portland Pickles get ready to try to salvage one of the 3. The Knights will be back home tomorrow against Walla Walla. And it's my understanding doing a project today outdoors most of the afternoon that somebody told me it's supposed to rain, a little bit of rain expected tomorrow. So for now, we're blessed with sunny skies, an AQI of 19, breezes blowing to left, and baseball at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field with Peyton Risky delivering a first pitch to Jack Mecho, the third baseman for Portland, who swings and misses. 0-1 the count. Peyton back to the plate. Fastball in there for strike 2. So says Isaiah Bester with Riley Keller, or Elijah Bester, pardon me, with Riley Keller on the bases. Risky working quickly, delivers the 0-2 pitch high, ball 1, 1-2. Jack Mecho leading off at third base for the Pickles. Armando Briseño back in the lineup, the designated hitter on deck in the 2-hole. Breaking ball high from Risky to even the count at 2-2. Dalton Mayshore batting third and center. Taylor Griffith, the cleanup hitter, in right. Alex Govea batting fifth at second base. Kevin Ferguson hitting sixth at first. Fastball outside, ball 3-2. Connor Stewart hitting seventh and catching for the Pickles. Britton Beeson batting eighth and left. Tyler Harries batting ninth at short. And Freddie Rodriguez on the mound, a right-hander. The 3-2 pitch is popped up on the right side. Yukamoto going out, and the ball lands between Yukamoto, Kaysen Conserina, and Brandon Cabrera. The definition, a platonic archetype of a Texas leaguer. Base hit to right field. In between three defenders, no chance, even with all reading the ball well off the bat. Jack Metcho hit the baseball where there weren't any defenders and trying to clean up, as we all have for a century or more. Willie Keeler, who said, hit them where they ain't. Well, that is what Metcho just did. First pitch fastball, to Armando Briseño is swung on and fouled straight back and out of play. No balls and one strike. Good to have Armando back in the lineup. He's been shut down for a while, but he's back and one of the better players in the league. Fastball to Armando, taken high and away. Committed to Long Beach State, now out of Fontana. 1 ball and 1 strike the count to Armando. Dalton Mayshore on deck. Will be DHing only the rest of the season. Breaking ball hit high in the air to left and pretty deep. Back goes Houston Wheeler to the warning track. Leaps up and the ball pops in and out of his glove on the track. Jordan Barkus will hold the runner, Jack Metcho, at third. Wheeler trying to go Joe Rudy. There's an iconic photograph of Joe in the '72 World Series climbing the wall in Oakland. It's a beautiful photograph captured with Rudy at the height of his jump. And he did make the catch. In this case, Wheeler had it in his glove, and for a moment I thought he was going to pull it in. But instead, it's a long double for Armando Briseño. And the Portland Pickles off to a good start. Base hit, runners at second and third. Dalton Mayshore, the batter. Breaking ball strike, the count 0-1. Freddie Rodriguez hopes to be staked to a lead, a right-hander from Sacramento and a competitor at the University of Hawaii. We'll set the Knights defensively here in a moment in the top of the first, with the Pickles threatening to score from the get-go. Risky strike one pitch, fastball in there for strike two. Quickly ahead of Dalton. No balls and 2 strikes. Peyton Risky and Luke Lavin, the Knights battery. Coulter McAnally at first, Thomas Ferraggiaro at second, Tai Yukamoto at short, Kevin Takeuchi at third. Fastball in there, strike 3 called, and Dalton Mayshore is rung up. A 3-pitch punch-out, and Dalton tries to point out what, in his opinion, is the proper definition of the strike zone, taking the barrel of his bat and kind of pointing it in the direction of home plate, and then as he walks off into the dugout to the right, looking back and muttering a few things. Taylor Griffith, the batter, the infield at normal depth. Griffith takes low and inside, ball 1. Runners at second and third and 1 out. The Pickles, the hottest team in the league coming into this series, having won 5 straight. Trying to get one of the 3. The Knights will stay home and host Walla Walla beginning tomorrow for 3. Cascade Collegiate League All-Stars on Thursday. A quick trip to Bend on Friday. Back home to the Elks to close out the regular season home schedule next Saturday and Sunday here. The pitch to Griffith, a strike, the count 1-1. Risky to the plate. The 1-1 pitch is pulled foul. Past Griffin Williams, the first base coach, part of Andy Peterson's staff at Lynn Benton Community College, the NWAC champions. The GNAC Player of the Year, Ben Lead. I interviewed him after the game last night. We were expecting to have Ben as our pregame show guest. The interview somehow got caught up in space and didn't make it through to the proper channels. We will try to play that then tomorrow and keep sending it, keep hitting send, keep hitting send, keep hitting send, and hope that it makes its way through that mysterious ethereal world. Griffith pulls one foul. 1-2 to Taylor, no score. Top of the first inning. Jack Metcho at third. Armando Briseño at second. One out. Risky to the plate. A little tapper back to Peyton. It goes through his glove. He doesn't have a play anywhere. Too bad, because the runner was not coming from third, but Risky wasn't computing that. I think he was thinking too much about, okay, I'm going to field this ball and I'm going to get the runner at third in Metcho. But by, in a sense, overthinking it and not doing job one, which is secure the baseball, he puts himself in harm's way. Instead of 2 outs and runners at second and third, his error puts Taylor Griffith at first and loads the bases with 1 out for Alex Gouveia. And as Steve Kimmel, ever the optimist, says, okay, that's all right. It just sets up the double play. Risky, though, throws one to the backstop on the breaking ball. The toss to the plate, not in time, and Jack Metcho comes in to score, and Portland leads it 1-0. A wild pitch after the error on Peyton Risky. The Knights recovered from a bit of a slow start last night for James DeCramer to win. Risky coming into the game having worked 32 innings, 34 hits, 8 walks, 24 strikeouts, 2-1, an ERA of 3.09. His 9th appearance and 8th start this summer with the Knights. A bloop single, a double, a strikeout, an error, wild pitch. Now delivers strike one down in the outside corner area at the knees. 1-1 to Alex Gouveia. A run in with Briseño at third, Taylor Griffith at second, 1 out. Risky's breaking ball away, ball 2, 2-1. It is baseball bingo night here tonight. An unusual game. We hope that there will be somebody yelling out bingo at some point. The 2-1 pitch, fastball up, ball 3, 3-1. But every fan that entered the ballpark received a baseball bingo card with various results. I'm looking at Ben Crockett. There's a hit by pitch across his top line, 3 unassisted, error, sacrifice fly, fly to right. The 3-1 pitch is ball 4 to load the bases. So what Ben has on his bingo card, not the same as what Steve Kimmel has to his left. Steve, are you playing baseball bingo? Because we have an error, or does it have to be within a certain time frame? Okay, I'm not, it's not bias or favoritism. Oh, you're helping him out. Don't you have to help out the other 1,200 people here? Well, if you bring your card up, maybe I'll have a look at it. But it is an error that needs to be marked on his baseball bingo card on Peyton Risky. Bases loaded, breaking ball lined into center field, base hit. Briseño scores, rounding third is Taylor Griffith. The ball juggled out in center by Cabrera, and that allows Taylor Griffith, Griffith, yes, to scoot up an extra 90 feet. Kevin Ferguson with a base hit, 3-0. With Briseño and Griffith scoring, Gouveia goes to third on the 2-run single by Kevin Ferguson and the error on Brandon Cabrera. 2 errors in the inning. It is a slow start, I dare say, for the Corvallis Knights. 7-time consecutive champions, a little flat out of the gates. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Peyton Risky's first pitch, a strike to Connor Stewart, 0-1. Briseño scoring. Taylor Griffith right behind him on the 2-run single for Kevin Ferguson. 3-0 Portland, top of the first. 0-1 to the right-hand hitting Connor Stewart. Risky to the plate, safety squeeze, good bunt. That'll score another run. Risky has nobody covering first, with Thomas Ferragamo not able to get over there in time. Coming down the line to score is Alex Gouveia, in one of the toughest half innings I've seen for Knights baseball in the 17 years they've been playing the game here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. They trail it 4-0. Connor Stewart with the bunt single and run batted in. And a fan down below yells, somewhat appropriately, I think, because the the fan base here has been indeed accustomed, spoiled, but they're accustomed to better baseball than this. And the fan just yelled, "Come on, let's go." It wasn't particularly harsh, as they might say in the hub, but it was a little bit birthed out of frustration by a fan that's used to such high-quality baseball through the years. Britton Beeson takes high. The 1-0 fastball, a strike. 4-0 Portland in the first. And Brooknight, I'm sure to his surprise and consternation, has sent a crew with Young Jin Yoon down to the bullpen to begin to get ready back of Peyton Risky. Still only one out in the inning, first and second. 4 runs in. Risky to the plate, breaking ball away. Ball 2, 2-1. One of the underrated pleasures of being a baseball fan in the 20th and 21st century. The writings of the late, great Roger Kahn. 2-1 fastball under the hands of Britton Beeson. Swung out and missed, and the count 2-2. Roger, so many wonderful essays on different subjects, but baseball seemed to be his strongest suit, writing The Boys of Summer and many other eloquent essays about the game. The 2-2 pitch to Beeson, high, ball 3, 3-2. 4 runs here in the top of the first. When Sports Illustrated was considering hiring Roger, and then eventually Time magazine hired him to do a cover story, he tells how the story took shape. The 3-2 pitch is ball 4 to reload the bases, and Tyler Harries will be the hitter. 4 runs in. Luke Lavin heading out to the mound to visit with Peyton Risky. Corey Stringer heads out. Apparently there's a bingo. There's been such an active first inning that Tony has announced a bingo winner already. There has been a lot of different stuff going on here in the first. Unfortunately, none of it particularly good for the hometown Knights. A base hit, a double, an error, a wild pitch, a walk, a 2-run single, another error, a bunt single, a walk to load the bases. It's a lot of stuff. And the 9th batter to come to the plate in the inning will be Tyler Harries. It was 1954, and the upshot was the editor who was assigning Roger Kahn to a story when the Indians looked like they might break the Yankees' dynastic streak. The Yankees won the World Series 5 consecutive seasons, 49-53. But in 54, Bob Lemon and Mike Garcia, Early Wynn and company got hot and won 111 games that year. The Yankees, I think, won 103. And back then, of course, just one team made the World Series out of each league, and that was it. But the upshot of a story being talked about in July was, Roger, you're going to cover a doubleheader in Cleveland in late August. And the editor says, now, Roger, who's going to win those 2 games? Tyler Harries takes high, ball 1, 1-0. Roger said that the editor of the magazine didn't know much about sports, so he just simply said, so, Roger, who's going to win those 2 games? How can we frame the story, the headline? With the bases loaded and 1 out, the 1-0 pitch from Peyton Risky, a strike, and the count 1-1. Roger was somewhat taken aback by the question. He said, well, sir, that's why I go to the games and report on them. I can't tell you. I don't know. Yeah, but the Indians have this kind of record and this and that. And the 1-1 pitch is high, ball 2. And Roger went on to write how he explained, yes, but in a sense, in baseball, as Yogi said, in baseball, you don't know nothing. One never knows. And these are 2 good teams here today. But the point is, no one would have reckoned upon the Pickles already having 4 runs with only 1 out. Peyton Risky delivers, and the count 2-2. That would be tantamount to asking yours truly or Brooke Knight or Dan Siegel, what's the score going to be at the end of the first inning today? Now, you might take a guess and be close to right if you say nothing. But right now, the Pickles have 4, and they have the bases loaded and only 1 out. Here's a line drive caught by McAnally. Throws to second, double play on a nice catch by Ty to double up Britton Beeson and retire the side. I don't know if you had an inning-ending double play, 4-6 on your bingo card, but that's what the Knights just accomplished, and it's big. In the overall scheme of things, it's big. It's a flat, uncustomary start for the Corvallis Knights, no question. They give up 4 runs in the inning. They commit 2 errors, but that double play, in a very real sense, buoys their collective spirits, I'm sure, as we go to the bottom of the first. The Pickles do bat around. They get 4 runs on 4 hits, 2 errors, and 2 men left after half an inning with a lot going on the bingo cards around the ballpark. Portland 4, the Knights coming up on the Knights live stream back in 90 on Joe Radio. It was just announced from the McGrath family press box that baseball bingo is over. That half inning was so eventful that the promotion for the evening, baseball bingo, done. 3 bingo cards turned in, and I guess that was the maximum allowed. But I hope everybody had a good time. A good time was had by all, except the Knights. As we go to the bottom of the first, they hope to kind of turn things around quickly with Freddie Rodriguez staked to a 4-0 lead. Starts Thomas Ferraggiaro with ball 1. The big righty back to the plate. Thomas fouls one to the left and out of play. Freddie Rodriguez, 6'3", 195. Staked to that 4-run lead out of River City High School in Sacramento. And on his way to the University of Hawaii. 1 ball and 1 strike, as will the Beaver baseball team be next spring. We may see this young man, big right-hander, when the Beavers travel over to Honolulu for a series in their independent world. Ferraggiaro takes a strike, 1-2 the count. 4-0 Portland, bottom of the first. Freddie's 1-2 change misses away, ball 2, 2-2. Rodriguez has had an excellent summer. Teams are hitting just 152 against him. An ERA of a Gibson-esque 1.12. As the old professor would say, you could look it up, 68, 1.12. Ferraggiaro swings and misses, strike 3. 13 shutouts and an ERA of 1.12. The pitch was swung on and missed for strike 3. I have no idea what the umpires are talking about here now. I mean, that's a swinging strikeout in the inning. I mean, it should have begun now with 1 out. I don't know what the home plate umpire, Elijah Bester, was looking at or thinking. It was a full swing and a miss. And it seemed as though he needed to have that confirmed by his partner, Riley Keller. It is true that in this game, no one knows anything. Again, cleaning up Wee Willie, working to clean up Yogi. They tried to clean up Old Diz and finally turned Jay Hannadine loose. The teachers in the St. Louis area said, you learn him baseball and we'll learn him English. And it was I think, a reasonable compromise when there were threats to take Dizzy off the air for his murdering of the English language. Tai Yukamoto takes a strike from Freddie Rodriguez. The right-hander rocks, kicks, and comes back with a change away. 1-1 to tie, 4-0 Portland. Bottom of the first inning. Rodriguez back to the plate. Fastball hit high in the air, foul off third. Tyler Harries and Britton Beeson come together. Harries the shortstop, Beeson the left fielder. The ball lands on the warning track down the left field line in foul grounds. 1-2 the count. Thomas Ferragaro at second base today. The leadoff hitter struck out. Tai Yukamoto at the plate with a count of 1-2. The shortstop, Brandon Cabrera on deck, the night center fielder. Kevin Takeuchi, the cleanup hitter at third base. Quinn Dufort hitting fifth, the DH. Kaysen Consarini batting sixth and right. Coulter McAnally hitting seventh at first base. Luke Lavin hitting eighth and catching. Houston Wheeler batting ninth and left. Freddie Rodriguez taking a long time before getting ready for his 1-2 pitch to Yukamoto. Tai hits one virtually to the same spot. This one does manage to pop over the protective netting one row deep into the lower grandstand down the left field side. The count remains 1-2 to Tai Yukamoto, hitting .308 as he stands in. Rodriguez nods yes to Connor Stewart. Slow, deliberate leg kick. Delivers to Yukamoto, who gets a piece of it to stay alive. 1-2 the count to tie. Freddie Rodriguez and Connor Stewart, the battery for the Pickles. Kevin Ferguson at first, Alex Govea at second, Tyler Harries at short, Jack Mecho at third. A quicker move to the plate this time. The 1-2 pitch misses for ball two, 2-2. The greats Juan Marichal and Louis El Tiante were wont to change their delivery from pitch to pitch. In this case, almost a slide step maneuver to the plate. The 2-2 pitch, Tai swings, gets a piece of it, fouls it back to stay alive. 2-2. In the outfield for the Portland Pickles, Britton Beeson in left, Dalton Mayshore in center, Tanner Griffith in right. It has turned out to be a beautiful evening. I wasn't so sure throughout the day. But it is gorgeous and just about the ideal temperature. Mid-70s, slight breezes, low AQI. Yukamoto pulls one wide of first, fielded by Ferguson, underhands to Rodriguez covering. 2 down in the bottom of the first inning. Brandon Cabrera will be the hitter. Pape Material Handling keeps you moving one step closer to home again this summer. The Knights and Pape have teamed up in support of Community Outreach, Inc., a local nonprofit dedicated to helping people lead healthy and productive lives. For every Knights stolen base, both the Knights and Pape Material Handling donate $15 to Community Outreach, Inc. Teamwork, process, impact, and opportunity, creating transformative pathways to life. Pape Material Handling and Community Outreach, Inc. Cabrera takes outside the 1-0 pitch to Brandon. Breaking ball for a strike from Freddie. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Pickles with 4 runs in the top of the first inning. Kind of a sleepy Sunday so far for the Knights, but indeed early. Freddie Rodriguez shakes off Connor Stewart a couple of times. Now comes to the plate and misses away with a fastball. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. We will attempt to convey, again, as I mentioned, the Ben Lead conversation. Really enjoyed talking to Ben after last night's victory, in which he was our player of the game. The 2-1 pitch just inside to Brandon. Ball 3, 3-1. Ben talked about growing up here in town. A huge Beaver fan, a big Knights fan, coming to games a lot. And he said, surreal now to be playing here for the Knights in this ballpark. The 3-1 pitch to Brandon Cabrera. High and away for ball 4. James DeCramer once again playing the role of bat boy, as noted by Rich Dorman last night. James grabs the bat. Heading to the plate will be Kevin Takeuchi. Kevin, the Knights' leading hitter, and in fact their triple crown hitter, as Ben Lead was at Central Washington this past spring in the GNAC Player of the Year, hitting .425. 9 homers, 46 RBIs, led his team in all 3 categories, as does Kevin Takeuchi with the Knights this summer. Kevin takes high and away, ball 1, 1-0. Coach Brooke Knight at third goes through the signs. Ed Nags over at first. 4-0 Portland, but a 2-out walk to Cabrera. And Kevin Takeuchi at the plate, trying to get something going with 2 down. The 1-0 pitch is high, ball 2. 2-0. Quinn Dufort on deck. 3:30 down both lines here at beautiful Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. 365 to the alleys. 400 feet to straightaway center with panels for the batting eye, Mitch Canham says, going in beginning next week. The 2-0 breaking ball misses for ball 3. 3-0 to Kevin Takeuchi. Freddie Rodriguez getting the first 2 outs of the inning. Walks Cabrera, now throws over to first, keeping an eye on Brandon. But is 3-0 on Kevin Takeuchi, with the Knights trying to make a little bit of a move back, kind of snap out if there's any kind of lethargy whatsoever. The top of the first inning looked like the Knights were just a little bit off their usual game. Trying to snap to it here in the bottom of the first. The 3-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 3-1. The Knights starting the ball game at 34-10 overall, so they don't have too many innings like the top of the first unfolded here. The 3-1 pitch to Kevin, lifted to center field and playable. Dalton Mayshore moves over a few steps to his right, and the inning is over. A good job by Freddie Rodriguez to back up the way this thing started. This thing started with 4 runs for the Pickles in the top of the first, and after 1, Portland 4, the Knights nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Top of the second inning, 4-0 Portland. Peyton Risky, who had a rough first inning, goes to work on Jack Metcho. The first pitch swung on and missed, but here we go in the second. A similar kind of feeling, and Risky just kind of takes a stroll around the mound and nearly shakes his head in frustration with a line drive to center field for a base hit for Jack Metcho. The game opened, and it probably should have been a little bit of a harbinger, with a good pitcher's pitch that resulted in a bloop single to right center field. And the inning was on for the Pickles. They scored 4 times. Risky, who has been very good for the Knights this summer, just got to kind of fight his way through it now in the second. Got an inning-ending double play ball off the bat of Tyler Harries, but gives up a hit to open the second. His 1-0 pitch to Armando Briseño, who hit one deep to left in and out of the glove of Houston Wheeler near the fence. to put runners at second and third. Armando takes high, ball 2, 2-0. Briseño chases a 2-0 pitch, doesn't get it. 2-1 the count. Briseño has missed some time of late with an injury and will be relegated to designated hitter duty. A little slide step action from Peyton Riskey, the 2-1 pitch, fouled straight back by Briseño. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count to Armando. Dalton Mayshore on deck. Peyton comes set and delivers the 0-2 breaking ball, line down the right field line. Coming in a hurry is Consarini to make the catch. Good read, good play, 1 away. For a moment, it appeared as though Briseño's ball was going to find safe turf, but a good read by Kaysen out in right field. And the batter will be Dalton Mayshore. Mayshore struck out looking in the first inning, much to his displeasure. He didn't like the call at all from the home plate umpire, Elijah Bester. The first pitch missing to Dalton, ball 1, 1-0. And now the 1-0 pitch hits Dalton Mayshore, who will head down to first base, getting hit on the left arm. First and second, 1 out for Taylor Griffith. Griffith hit a number back towards Peyton Riskey last inning, which was just part of the overall troubles the Knights experienced. And Brook Knight, recognizing that it may just not be Peyton Riskey's night, so to speak, this early Sunday evening, is on his way to the mound. He didn't send Cole Stringer. I think we may see a pitching change, and we will. Peyton Riskey with a tough first inning, and here in the second, things are not shaping up especially well. Jack Metcho at second, Dalton Mayshore at first, 1 out, a new pitcher coming in. We will take a 2-minute pitching change break and see if the Knights can kind of pull themselves together. They've won the series. They're certainly hopeful of a sweep, but they're down 4-0 in the second with a pitching change at hand. Back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Right-hander Mason Goodson has been summoned out of the Corvallis Knights bullpen here in the top of the second inning. with the Portland Pickles leading 4-0 and threatening to add to that advantage with runners at first and second and one out. Taylor Griffith, the batter. Taylor aboard on an error in the first inning. Mason's first pitch to Griffith misses low for ball one. Jack Metcho at second, Dalton Mayshore at first. Armando Briseño flied to right field. I misspoke about his status with Long Beach State. The pitch on the way is popped up. Tai Yukamoto let the ball drop, threw to second for a force at second. Yukamoto let the ball drop, and now a tag, a throw to third. One of the strangest plays I've ever seen, and the runner has been called out and safe, I believe. Yukamoto let the ball drop. The infield fly rule was not called, and now a runner going to second. Get back to first. Time was called. Stay at third. Time is called. It should have been called a long time ago, as we have a comedy of errors here. Now, Yukamoto chose to let the ball drop and was trying to get a double play, and he thinks he let the ball drop, threw to second for one, and then thought they could throw to first and get the double play. Ty chose not to catch the ball. He chose to turn it into a force play and a possible double play. Now, I do think that the base umpire, Riley Keller, I thought called the runner out at second on the force play. He never did invoke the infield fly rule, and then thus action ensued. Brooke Knight, hands on his hips out in front of the Corvallis Knights dugout, is waiting for this to be sorted out. For whatever reason, the runner, Taylor Griffith, who was called safe at first base, is still lingering around second, talking it over with Tai Yukamoto and Brandon Cabrera, who's come in from center field to join the conversation. The umpires summon Brooke Knight over, and we'll see what the duo comes up with here. So a force out at second base. Now, Yukamoto is going to argue that he got the guy out at first, too. I think they're calling the runner Mayshore out at second on a force, but the runner safe at first, and the runner going from second to third after all the action had ensued. Brooke Knight's not pleased with what has been decided here in one of the strangest plays that ain't on anybody's bingo card. It's a good thing the bingo game is over, because you'd have a hard time finding a play like this on any card. 2 outs in the inning is the upshot, with a runner going back to first base in Taylor Griffith, who essentially is aboard on a fielder's choice 6-4. And into third base on the play goes Jack Metcho. Metcho at third, Taylor Griffith at first, on what turns out to be one of the oddest 6-4 fielder's choices you'll ever see. Yukamoto was hoping to get a double play out of it by letting the ball bounce, throw to second for a force play, and then hope to get the double play by going to first with Ferragamo. First pitch breaking ball from Mason Goodson is in for a strike to Alex Govea. 0-1 the count. First and third, 2 down. Pretty alert base running in a sense, with the Pickles runners picking up, or at least trying to pick up, 90 going to third and to second, but Taylor Griffith sent back to first. He now draws a throw, does Taylor, from Mason Goodson. 2 down in the inning, runners at first and third. In the end, it's a 6-4 fielder's choice from Tai Yukamoto to Thomas Ferragamo, but one of the more unorthodox ones I've seen. Another throw to first from Mason Goodson. Back to the bag dives Griffith. Choosing to let the ball drop. Bill Russell did that in the World Series, I think, in '78. And then after stepping on second through to first, Reggie kind of hip checked the baseball and the Yankees ended up winning that game, much to the consternation of Lasorda. Runner goes, trots into second base. Taylor Griffith does. A bluff by Lavin. Griffith was still hoping to get Luke to throw the ball by slowing to a trot into the bag. He now gets the base that he ran to during the confusion on the 6-4 force play moments ago. 1-1, meanwhile, to Alex Govea, who has a chance to deliver a 2-run hit. He swings and chops one back of third, backhanded by Takeuchi. The long throw to first in time. Great stretch by Coulter McAnally. A big-time play by Kevin Takeuchi. The Knights have ended each of the first 2 innings with strong defensive plays. Tai Yukamoto taking a bit of a gamble by letting a routine pop fly out land to get what he hoped would be a double play to end the inning. As it is, the Knights work through it without a run coming home. Nice play by Takeuchi. No runs, a hit, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the second inning. The Pickles 4 and the Knights nothing on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Bottom of the second inning, 4-0 Portland. Quinn Dufort to lead things off against Freddie Rodriguez. First pitch is low. Armando Briseño, by the way, has played 2 years at Long Beach State. I misunderstood in visiting with Coach Magdaleno yesterday, who I interpreted him. I inferred that Armando was going to go to Long Beach. It all he meant was he'll be going back to Long Beach State. And he's had 2 good seasons for the Dirtbags. A good ball player, a really big year this past season for Armando. Good to have him back in the lineup for the Pickles. Quinn Dufort takes a strike from Freddie Rodriguez. The 1-1 change is high and away. Ball 2, 2-1. Quinn Dufort, Kaysen Consarina, and Coulter McAnally. Bottom of the second, 4-0 Portland. Freddie back to the plate and misses inside. Ball 3, 3-1. Good defensive work, even with the 2 errors on the board, has kept the lead from growing for Portland here early. The 3-1 pitch to Quinn Dufort is just outside. Ball 4. Quinn heads down to first. Kaysen Consarina will be the batter, and that often can be the start of something good. You can cue up your Rufus. I remember years ago, and it still feels as though this always would apply in sports talk radio. I remember in the midst of a lot of controversial stuff, I think it might have been in the Tanya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan brouhaha when I was on the radio doing a show every day in Portland after covering the Justice Center, waiting for Tanya and his lawyer's arrival. Get down there to the Justice Center and cover it. Tanya may be arrested and coming in today. I mean, it was a wild time in life. and captured pretty well in I, Tanya. The first pitch to Kason Consarini in the turf, ball one. But I remember just being overwhelmed and consumed by that scandal and controversy. And loving sports as I do. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Kason takes a fastball just outside, ball 2, 2-0. 4-0 Portland in the bottom of the second. Connor Stewart will go out and talk to his battery mate, Freddie Rodriguez. But in that circus that was the Tanya Harding story in our great city of Portland, and Mark Schwartz, ESPN, and the world descending upon our city, cameras, television trucks everywhere, people trying to get Tanya to say something. I mean, you've seen the movie, you know the story pretty well. In the midst of all of that, hosting a show in the afternoons there in Portland, I one day queued up Rufus and played it as the theme for the day. And I said, folks, tell me something good. Tell me something good today about sports and your experience with it. Let's get through, or at least put aside for a while, all of our thoughts, opinions, and comments about the Tanya Kerrigan controversy. The 2-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 2-1. And that became an ongoing show for a while, the Tell Me Something Good segment, to celebrate why we are sports fans and love sports as we do. The 2-1 pitch swung on and fouled at the plate. 2-2 the count to Consarini. Whatever Connor Stewart said to Freddie Rodriguez, he told him something perhaps apropos, advisable, because Freddie, after walking Quinn Dufort and falling behind Consarini, has worked his way back to a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Coulter McAnally on deck. 4-0 Pickles in the bottom of the second. Freddie to the plate. A chopper to third. Mecho goes to Govea for one. On to first. Double play. I can't tell you anything good, folks. That was, other than to say, a very questionable call. Brooke Knight is just saying, what are we doing here? Clearly the runner was safe. Clearly the runner was safe. Clearly the runner was safe. Consarini heads back to the dugout. I did make a vow, did I not? So I've already, as you know, I'm afraid what happens with most of my resolutions, they end up shattering. So that's it. Double play, 5-4-3. Consarini was called out by Riley Keller. 2 down and nobody on. Coulter McAnally swings and misses. And Brooke is still kind of fuming over it. Hands on his hips, staring, looking down at the turf. I mean, it wasn't really even close. And yet the double play in the books. And that's too bad. Kason, the Knights deserve better. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 down here in the bottom of the second. Rodriguez made a good pitch. Don't get me wrong. And Jack Mecho did a good job to get the ball to Govea, and a good turn by Alex to at least make it close enough to get the incorrect call, but they made it close enough to at least get there. The pitch on the way is down and away. Ball 2, 2-1. 2 down, nobody on. 4-0 Pickles in the second. Freddie back to the plate with a 2-1 pitch, fouled back into the entrance area of Goss Stadium at Coleman Field to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. On a Sunday afternoon, early evening, dominated by the Pickles so far. But the Knights have beaten Portland 5 consecutive times, and there's still a lot of ball game to play. McAnally, a grounder wide of third. Mecho fields, whirls around, comes down on the bag, but a little bit late, and McAnally is aboard. A close call at first base. Had Riley Keller called McAnally out, I'm not sure we would have had a 2007 type scene as we did at Reeser Beavers Huskies, Evanson Bernard in 2007, when, as Bob DeCarolis said, I thought we might have a riot at the stadium. A late night game with a call in the end that was quite controversial. That'll go in the books as an error on the throw by Mecho, who did a good job to get to the ball to his left. Luke Lavin, the batter, swings at the first pitch, a high pop-up on the right side. Second baseman Alex Govea is there to make the catch. The Knights are gone in the second. No runs, no hits, an error, 1 left. At the end of 2, the Pickles 4 and the Knights 0 on the Knights live stream back in '90 on Joe Radio.
Subscribe to the Gazette Times, your go-to source for in-depth journalism and breaking news. From local stories that impact your community to consistent updates to your Beavers and Knights, the Gazette Times has it all. For only $1 for 3 months, enjoy unlimited access to our e-edition, unlimited articles on GazetteTimes.com and our mobile app, and free access to newspapers.com archives. Subscribe today and join the Gazette Times community.
Kevin Ferguson, Connor Stewart, and Britton Beeson, the scheduled hitters for the Pickles, who lead the Knights 4-0 as we move to the third inning. For replacement glass or new vinyl windows in your home, call Smith Glass, located in Corvallis and Albany. Smith Glass is a leading residential and commercial glass service for the Mid-Valley and longtime partner of the Corvallis Knights. Smith Glass on the cutting edge since 1945. Mason Goodson delivers to Kevin Ferguson. Breaking ball outside, ball one. Kevin singled home 2 runs in the first inning, part of a 4-run frame, Portland taking command. Breaking ball grounded fair down the third base line, down the line into the left field corner. Kevin Ferguson will cruise into second base with Houston Wheeler getting the ball back in. Kevin Takeuchi was well off the line and had no chance to get to the ball hit to his right. A leadoff double. The Pickles have led off each of the innings with base hits. Jack Mecho twice, a single to right and a single to center. And now here in the third, Kevin Ferguson, a leadoff 2-bagger. Connor Stewart, an RBI single in the first inning. The pitch on the way. He's bunting again and bunts foul. He had an RBI bunt single, did Connor, in the 4-run first. He bunts this one foul. No balls and 1 strike. Connor out of Clinton, Ohio. That was a new one. Been writing down names on charts for a lot of years. Had never written down Clinton, Ohio before for anyone until Connor Stewart in this series between the Pickles and Knights. Connor gets drilled by a Mason Goodson fastball up in near the left shoulder. And Connor's okay. He tosses away his protective gear. Didn't have any up there where he just got drilled, but he heads down to first. Appears to be all right. 2 on and nobody out for Britton Beeson. 2 walks, 2 hit batters. Again, on a late afternoon, early evening affair that hasn't gone well really in any respect for the Knights yet. We'll see if Coach Magdaleno has Britton Beeson up there to bunt. Jordan Barkus lays out the sign from third at the behest of Mark Magdaleno. 2 on and nobody out. Top of the third, 4-0 Portland. Beeson is squaring. Mason Goodson comes to the plate. Beeson gets a good bunt down, barehanded by Goodson. His throw to McAnally. Coulter drops the ball, moving into foul territory. Everybody saved, backed up by Thomas Ferragero. And this night of frustration continues. So far, it just isn't the Knights' afternoon and evening. The bases loaded, nobody out. Mark Magdaleno comes out. I think he's a little concerned about Kevin Ferguson at third base. Is Kevin all right? I think is what Mark wants to know. Are you okay? Ferguson, bent at the waist, hands on his knees, gives Coach Magdaleno the thumbs up to say, yeah, I'm okay, Skip, but there must have been something that caught Coach Magdaleno's eye that concerned him about his first baseman. But Kevin plays on. The Knights get their third error. The throw drew Coulter McAnally into foul territory. My assumption is the error will be on Mason Goodson, but it could be on Coulter. I'll have to check with Brooks Hatch. Tyler Harry's the batter, and Goodson bounces his first pitch. 1 ball and no strikes. The Knights pull their infield in. Coach Knight believing that they can't dig a deeper hole. Goodson working from the stretch with the sacks full and nobody out. Knights trailing 4-0. The Pickles trying to really open it up. Mason's 1-0 pitch misses for ball 2. This is Mason's 9th appearance this summer. In 8 2/3 innings, has given up 13 hits coming into this appearance. 10 runs, 9 earned, 8 walks, 9 strikeouts. An important sequence here for Mason just to try to work his way through it. Try to make something good out of a tough situation. However, his 2-0 pitch misses for ball 3, 3-0. That was one of the themes we underscored last night. We being yours truly, along with Mitch Canham and Rich Dorman, during James DeCramer sort of up and down during the course of the evening, working through a lot of traffic, having to make a lot of pitches. Goodson's 3-0 pitch is a strike, belled high, and the count 3-1. For Mason, this is a similar opportunity. A double, a hit batter, an error, the base is full. They're now trying to make some quality pitches, keep his team close enough to have a shot to still win this ball game. The 3-1 pitch, a ground ball. Yukamoto will go to the plate for 1, down to first on a hop, not in time. But a nice play by Tai Yukamoto with the infield in. He was able to field the ball just off the green, slightly to his left, and get the fielder's choice 6-2. And a good job by Mason Goodson to produce the ground ball. 1 away with Kevin Ferguson out at the plate. The bases remain loaded. Stewart at third, Britton Beeson at second, Tyler Harries at first, Jack Mecho 2 for 2, the batter. Breaking ball in the turf, good block by Luke Lavin. 1 ball and no strikes. Mecho is up for the 3rd consecutive inning. Has singled in the first, singled in the second. Back up there in the 3rd, 4-0 Portland. The Pickles trying to break it open here under the early evening sunshine in the Mid-Valley. Infield now at double play depth. Goodson to the plate. The 1-0 pitch is outside from Mason. Ball 2, 2-0. Coach Knight has sent a couple of guys down to the bullpen in the left field corner working behind Mason Goodson here in the 3rd. Connor Stewart at third, Britton Beeson at second, Tyler Harries at first, 1 out. The Pickles up 4-0, trying to add on. The 1-1 pitch, or 2-0 pitch, misses for ball 3 to Mecho. Once again, Mason needs to fill up the zone. 3-0 the count to Jack Mecho, Armando Briseño. Getting ready for his 3rd season with the Dirtbags. On deck. Goodson's 3-0 pitch inside, ball 4 to force in a run. 5-0 Pickles. Connor Stewart coming down the line to score. The bases remain loaded with 1 out. Luke Lavin is instructed to walk slowly out to the mound for a conversation that Tai Yukamoto will join. Whether this is simply to buy time for whomever Brook just dispatched to the bullpen, we'll find out here in a moment. Thus far, the kind of night that comes so infrequently with Knights baseball. A true dynasty in summer ball. 7 consecutive West Coast League championships, 10 overall since coming to Corvallis back in 2007. Clearly, they don't have many nights like this. And indeed, that was just a precursor. Brook Knight is now making his way out to the mound by sending Luke Lavin out for a conversation. Whomever it is getting ready in the bullpen, getting a few more pitches in, and will be summoned into the game here in a moment. 5-0 Pickles. Armando Briseño has doubled to deep left and flied to right field. And Brook will bring in his 3rd pitcher. Peyton Risky started. Mason Goodson came on. And we've got a new man coming in, the 3rd man of the evening. I'll tell you something good right now. Or at least something that I hope you take me up on. If you've not seen The Third Man, treat yourself to it at some point. I know it's an old film. It's black and white. Orson Welles, Joseph Cotten, the music of Anton Karas, the brilliant direction of Carol Reed. Really good. Really good. The Pickles have been really good. We'll take a 2-minute pitching change break. The Pickles have scored a run. They have the bases loaded and 1 out, leading 5-0, back in 2 on the night's live stream and Joe Radio. Right-hander C.J. Collier to work. And the right-hander, the Northwest Conference Player of the Year, delivers a strike to Armando Briseño. With the bases loaded, 1 out, the Pickles leading 5-0. Collier, the third pitcher of the evening for the Knights. Comes back with a strike 1 pitch. C.J. misses down and away. 1-1. C.J. making his 9th appearance on the bump. 9 1/3 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 8 walks, 8 strikeouts, 1-0, an ERA of 0. Bases loaded, 1 out. The infield a double play depth. CJ's breaking ball misses away, ball 2, 2-1. Collier 6'2", 225. Pleasure to meet his folks here the other day out of making the trip up from Gilroy. Been fun to watch CJ with the Knights all summer as a good two-way player. The 2-1 pitch swung on and fouled back. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. The Pickles scoring 4 in the first. They've picked up 1 here in the third and threatening to really bust it with the bases loaded and 1 out. 2 balls and 2 strikes to C.J. Collier. The right-hander works out of the stretch with the sacks full. On the right hand, hitting Armando Briseño. The 2-2 pitch low. Ball 3, 3-2. On deck, Dalton Mayshore. The 3-2 pitch on the way. Hit foul down the right field line. The ball will land just below Casey Corner in the right field corner. The count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes to Armando Briseño. Britton Beeson from third, Tyler Harries from second, Jack Metcho from first. The 3-2 pitch just misses for ball 4. And I mean just misses. It's almost a situation of trying to read the room and the situation. That pitch needs to be a strike in the overall scheme of things. Brooke Knight thinks so. Luke Lavin thinks so. Luke made a tap to his chest, indicating to the dugout, yeah, the pitch was a strike. And that's why Luke continued the conversation with Bester. And now here's a pitch for a strike. And the count 0-1. But and a fan yells too late, and that's correct. I can't help myself. I'm a bad guy. Briseño draws the bases loaded walk. 6-0 Portland, and that's the fact. The strike one pitch misses low in the count 1-1. But that pitch it's just in the overall scheme of life of baseball, that pitch needed to be called a strike. Now, Armando doesn't think so, and he's rewarded for having a sharp eye. I get that. But that was a very nice pitch. And in this game, in this league, in this life, it needs that pitch for everybody, whether a Pickle, whether a Pippin, whether a Bend Elk or a Knight. That pitch needs to be called a strike in this league, and it wasn't. Back-to-back bases loaded walks. 6-0 Portland. 2-1 the count, meanwhile, to Dalton Mayshore. Collier to the plate, ball 3, 3-1. Taylor Griffith on deck. 6-0 Pickles. And C.J. Collier squeezed on a pitch that would have been the second out of the inning, now really struggling with the sacks full. 3-1 pitch, outside, ball 4, not close. And another run comes down the line to score. The Knights are experiencing what they have often done to teams through the summers, namely having good patience, getting good at-bats. Portland's a good club. The Knights had won the first 5 games in this head-to-head series, but they're getting pummeled here tonight. It's 7-0 in the third. Taylor Griffith takes way inside. Ball 1, 1-0. 3 more runs in the inning. The sacks are full with 1 out. Jack Mecho at third, Armando Briseño at second, Dalton Mayshore at first. 1-0 to Taylor Griffith. CJ to the plate. Griffith takes a strike. The count 1-1. The Knights continue to play the infield at double play depth, down 7-0 in the third. 1-1 pitch is a ground ball to McAnally. He goes to the plate for 1 and no other play. The Knights with 2 fielders' choices at the plate in the inning. Nicely done by McAnally. At the fielder's choice off the bat of Taylor Griffith, 3-2, 2 down. The bases remain loaded for Alex Govea, who comes to the plate. The 9th batter of the inning, the second time in the game that the Pickles have batted around. 4 runs in the first, 3 here in the third. Govea walked and scored in the first inning, grounded out on a nice play by Kevin Takeuchi to end the second. The first pitch to Alex misses inside for ball 1, 1-0. Govea out of UC Davis takes the 1-0 pitch, high for ball 2, 2-0. CJ choosing to work now from the windup with the Pickles scoring 3 and the bases loaded, and the 2-0 pitch from CJ a strike, and the count 2-1. CJ shaking off Luke Lavin. Now the right-hander comes back to the plate. A 2-1 pitch, a chopper towards second. Ferragiro has to wait for the second hop. Does so. Throws to first to retire the side. But the Pickles bat around for the second time. They score 3 more. They leave 3. We are through 2.5. All Pickles on this early Sunday evening in the Mid-Valley. The Knights will try to change that as we go to the bottom of the third. Portland 7, the Knights nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Bottom of the third inning, 7-0 Pickles. Freddie Rodriguez to Houston Wheeler. First pitch to Houston, a strike. The count 0-1. The Albany Youth Orchestra performed the national anthem beautifully. Thus far, that's sort of been the highlight at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. And a rare kind of experience for this proud Knights franchise, 7-time consecutive champions, to be down 7-0 to anybody. A bit surprising. The strike one pitch missing to Houston. 1-1 the count. Houston Wheeler, Thomas Ferragamo, and Tai Yukamoto. Freddie back to the plate. Rodriguez misses. The count 2-1. Surprising is the word chosen by. We have a man who works in the latrines here whose latrine work is quite surprising. Referring to Andy Griffith's work in No Time for Sergeants. The 2-1 pitch on the inside corner to Houston Wheeler. The count 2-2. Whomever that was trying to describe Stockdale's great work in the latrine, that's what he came up with. Surprising. And this night so far is a little surprising. The 2-2 pitch to Houston is outside, ball 3-2. But a lot of baseball ahead. And the Knights, as I mentioned, just a proud group of guys. They don't want to be the team that sees the streak come to an end on their watch. 7 straight championships, and they're determined to try to fight their way back. The 3-2 pitch, Houston fouls it straight back. The count remains 3 strikes. Critics say there was a dearth of good comedy in the 50s, and they may be right. Not enough of a film student, though I love movies, old ones in particular. But No Time for Sergeants hit it pretty well circa 1958 with the late Andy Griffith. 3-2 the count to Houston Wheeler. Freddie Rodriguez back to the plate. Houston gets a piece of it, fouls it off Waldo way, and stays up there. 3-2 the count. The best performance in that film, though, turned in by Myron McCormick. As funny as Andy was, McCormick as the sergeant. A good turn. The 3-2 pitch, that's lifted foul, Waldo away again. Good battle by Houston Wheeler. Leading things off for the Knights in the bottom of the third. Hoping to be the catalyst, get on base, and just try to get something started. Not much has gone well for the Knights so far. Freddie Rodriguez staked to a 7-run lead now. Comes 3-2. Good breaking ball. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Nice pitch. Houston Wheeler strikes out to open the bottom of the third. Thomas Ferragamo, who struck out in the first, will come to the plate. When you visit Corvallis to catch Knights baseball, we encourage you to stay at your locally owned Best Western Corvallis. It's the official hotel partner of your Corvallis Knights. Close to Goss, where you can enjoy the largest hotel rooms in the city and an outdoor heated pool. Wherever life takes you, Best Western is there. Thomas Ferragamo takes low for ball 1. Freddie Rodriguez back to the plate with a 1-0 pitch. Sprayed foul above the upper grandstand beyond the Jack Riley concourse. That evens the count at 1-1. Good crowd again this evening. Expecting 3 more good ones against the Walla Walla Sweets here in the next couple of days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, in fact. 6:35, all 3 nights. The pitch missing for ball 2, 2-1 to Tai Yukamoto. Fastball on the inside corner, spotted up nicely by Freddie Rodriguez. The count even, 2 strikes. Freddie nods yes to his battery mate Connor Stewart, comes back with a 2-2 breaking ball, swung on and fouled at the plate. Rodriguez with a count of 2 strikes. Cruising along here in the bottom of the third inning. The 2-2 pitch, that's hit foul to the left and out of play. Yeah, let's see. Can I tell you something good from Major League Baseball today? Yes, Stephen Kwan, former Corvallis Knight, former national champion with the Beavers, 2 for 4 for the Guardians. Hit his 11th home run. Cleveland beat the Phillies 4-3. Another 2-2 pitch coming, taken, strike 3 called. Thomas Ferragamo rung up, 2 down, back-to-back strikeouts for Freddie Rodriguez. And 3 in the ballgame. Tai Yukamoto, the hitter. Tai grounded out to first base in his first at-bat. Adley Rutschman, as a pinch hitter today, drew a walk. The Orioles beat San Diego 8-6. Former Knight Brooks Lee had an RBI in Minnesota's 5-0 win over Detroit. Seattle beat the White Sox 6-3. Former Knight Mitch Haniger went 0 for 3. Yukamoto hits a pop foul off third, coming to the netting. Jack Metcho. The ball hits the net as Jack was arriving, and Jack not able to bring it in. Metcho, I think, thought he should have caught it because he pounds his chest after the fact as if to say, that's on me. Perhaps Jack felt he should have had his glove up a little bit higher before the ball grazed the net. Whatever the case, Yukamoto still up there with a count of no balls and 1 strike with 2 down and nobody on in the bottom of the third. 7-0 Portland. Yukamoto slaps one through the 5-hole into left field, base hit. Yukamoto takes a turn and will hold with Britton Beeson getting the baseball back in. A 2-out single. Something good for the Corvallis Knights. Former Beaver Michael Conforto didn't play for the Knights, but Michael went 2 for 3 for the Giants today and scored a run in San Francisco's 5-4 victory over Colorado. The White Sox completed the Mariners completed a sweep of the White Sox earlier today in Chicago on the South Side 6-3. Haniger 0 for 3. And former Corvallis Knight and Beaver Matt Boyd is continuing to get ready on injury rehab from Cleveland. 1-0 with a 1 ERA and 2 starts at Akron at AA Eastern. Should be getting a call up to the big league soon. Brandon Cabrera takes high. The 1-0 breaking ball from Freddie Rodriguez in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. And Travis Bazzana in a Great Lakes victory over Lake County, 3-2. Bazzana, part of the Guardians organization, the 1-1 pick, 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. A chopper to shortstop. Tyler Harries goes the short way to Alex Govea at second for the force on Tai Yukamoto to retire the side. A 2-out single for Tai, nothing more, no runs, a hit, and 1 left. We are through 3 desultory innings as far as the Corvallis Knights are concerned. Portland 7, the Knights nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
We want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
News that you can trust. Subscribe to the Gazette-Times, your go-to source for in-depth journalism and breaking news. From local stories that impact your community to consistent updates to your Beavers and Knights, the Gazette-Times has it all. For only $1 for 3 months, enjoy unlimited access to our e-edition, unlimited articles on GazetteTimes.com and our mobile app, and free access to newspapers.com archives. Subscribe today and join the Gazette-Times community.
Through 3 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Bright sunshine now on this early Sunday evening. The Pickles 7 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. The Knights, no runs, 1 hit, 3 errors. Mason Goodson to work on Kevin Ferguson, starts him with a strike. C.J. Collier. Collier comes back with the 0-1 pitch, swung on and missed in the count 0-2. Ferguson, a 2-run single in the first, a double to lead off last inning. C.J. works quickly, delivers, fastball taken, strike 3 called. For the first time in the game, a Knights pitcher retires the leadoff hitter. And Connor Stewart will be the batter. C.J. Collier and Luke Lavin, the battery for the Knights. Around the infield, Coulter McAnally at first, Thomas Ferraggiaro at second, Tai Yukamoto at short, Kevin Takeuchi at third. C.J. to the plate, first pitch fastball away, ball 1 to Connor, who has an RBI and a bunt single and was hit by a pitch last inning and scored. Big part of the action, 7-0 Portland. The 1-0 pitch to Connor, foul back, and the count 1-1. McAnally, Ferraggiaro, Yukamoto, and Takeuchi around the infield. In the outfield for the Knights, Houston Wheeler in left, Brandon Cabrera in center, Case and Concerina in right. C.J. back to the plate. Fastball a little bit low, ball 2, 2-1. Owen is bringing me something. I'm not sure exactly what. Whatever it is.
It's from Linda.
From Linda?
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you, Owen. That's very kind of you. And Linda. I'll have to work on trying to get whatever that is open during our between-inning break. Thank you, Linda. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Connor Stewart. Fastball just outside, ball 3, 3-2. It is nice to be working outside of the press box, even when it gets chilly, because occasionally gifts come this way. The 3-2 pitch is ball 4. Connor Stewart draws the 1-out walk, and Britton Beeson, who has walked and been aboard on an error, will come to the plate. The 6th walk issued by Knights pitching. They've hit 2 batters as well. Wholly antithetical sort of evening for the Corvallis Knights thus far tonight. Down 7-0. And it's just been a little bit on the flat side. Some good defensive plays along the way. Britton Beeson looks at a breaking ball strike, the count 0-1. Coming up tomorrow night will be Philomath night. I'm not exactly sure all that entails, but the great city of Philomath will be well represented and have a number of exciting promotions, I dare say. The strike 1 pitch, a little bit high, and the count 1-1 to Britton Beeson. Old Timers Night on Tuesday. Don't quite know what that entails either, but I like the sound of it, being one myself. 1-1 the count. 7-0 Portland. The 1-1 pitch from C.J. swung on and missed in the count 1-2. Then Wednesday night, a first ever, Halloween in July. I believe that's a first for the Knights from a promotional standpoint. We'll be learning more together in the days ahead. The Knights coming down the stretch for home games. After the aforementioned 3 games with Walla Walla, just 3 left. Cascade Collegiate League on Thursday, then Bend Saturday and Sunday. That's it for the regular season on the home schedule. So make sure you get your tickets, CorvallisKnights.com. The pitch missing just outside to Britton Beeson to even the count at 2-2. Connor Stewart at first, 1 out. The 2-2 fastball taken. Strike 3 called, 2 down. C.J. Collier has rung up 2 hitters in the inning. Kevin Ferguson and Beeson has seen them rung up by home plate umpire Elijah Bester. And with 2 down, Tyler Harry's the hitter. Tyler's has lined into an inning-ending double play and grounded into a 6-2 fielder's choice. 4 runs in the first for the Pickles, 3 in the third. 2 outs, a man aboard here in the 4th. C.J. to the plate. Fastball for a strike. 0-1 the count. C.J. peering into his battery mate Luke Lavin. Collier quickly to the plate. The strike one pitch hit foul into Urchin Alley. A youngster nearly dropped his phone, held onto his phone, dropped the baseball. When I say a youngster, I'm talking, they're all young now, but he looks like about a 17 or 18-year-old. Had the baseball in his right hand for a moment, and I thought he was going to drop his cell phone. Did not drop the cell phone, did drop the baseball. Breaking ball high and inside. That was at the back row here just to our right. And then the ball off his fingertips into Urchin Alley. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 down. Connor Stewart at first, held on by Coulter McAnally. C.J. Collier, a strike away from fanning the side, turns and throws to first. Connor dives back to the bag. Walla Walla in town for the next 3. Philomath Night, Old Timers Night, Halloween in July. And then down to the precious few home games on the regular season. Playoff baseball will be returning to Goss on August 11th. Fastball away, a late break from Connor Stewart, and no throw from Luke Lavin. Connor Stewart with some alert base running. Picks up the stolen base. He's in scoring position now. Stewart's second steal of the summer. 2-2 to Tyler Harries. Collier to the plate. The 2-2 pitch is popped up into shallow center. Going out is Ferragamo. Ferragamo stays with it with Brandon Cabrera bearing down on him. Thomas makes the catch. The inning is over. No runs, no hits, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 4th with the Knights looking for something good. Pickles 7, the Knights nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Bottom of the 4th inning, 7-0 Portland. Freddie Rodriguez has gone all the way, has pitched extremely well. The Knights hoping to get something going here with Kevin Takeuchi leading things off against Freddie. Kevin will be followed by Quinn Dufort and then Kaysen Consarina. First pitch swung on and missed by Takeuchi. No balls and 1 strike the count. The 0-1 pitch, that's swung on and missed. 0-2 to Kevin, who flied to center field in the first. Portland 4 in the first, 3 in the third, and in complete command of the proceedings so far. The strike 2 pitch, Kevin a topper up along third, foul. The count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Kevin Takeuchi, Quinn Dufort, and Kaysen Consarina. Rodriguez nods yes. The strike 2 pitch on the way, sails high and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. The Knights with just 1 hit. They've committed 3 errors. That's a little out of balance. Fastball taken by Takeuchi for strike 3 called. 1 away, and Quinn Dufour the batter. It's the type of game where, as disappointing as it has been, it's not over. A lot of game to play, but the Knights have been remarkable of late. Having dropped 2 of 3 series, they came back to sweep Ridgefield, and they've won this series against Portland. They've clinched the season series against the Pickles in the process. So they've done so many things well and continue to play at such an extremely high level, leading the West Coast League with the best overall record at 34-10. But it's because of those lofty achievements and standards that a game like this, you just almost rubbing your eyes like, what's going on? Who are these guys? Dufour, a ground ball back at first, fielded by Kevin Ferguson, who takes it to the bag for out number 2. Kaysen Concerina will be the hitter. But that is why Roger Kahn, the late great, was flabbergasted by an editor saying, we're going to send you to do a story on a doubleheader in Cleveland in August. This was early in July. We're going to send you there. We want you to do that. In our story about the Yankees, the storyline will be the twilight of the gods. Kahn was not a big fan of Wagner and the anti-Semitism and so on, though he acknowledged the genius of the artist and the greatness of that particular piece. But he didn't really like that angle. Strike 1 pitch, almost a quick pitch, swung out and missed in the count 0-2 to Concerina. But beyond his distaste for Wagner and Twilight of the Gods, he was a little more upset about the editor saying, okay, who's going to win that doubleheader? Because we want that to be part of the storyline, too. Kahn said he knew he was dealing with a man that didn't understand competitive sports. Strange kick and delivery by Rodriguez, and the slider misses. He varies it. I like it. And I say strange just because he doesn't give you the same look every time. The last pitch was almost a quick pitch. Then he came back with a slow lift of the leg and then a slow kick of the leg and kind of a slow, deliberate delivery. He's in that mode again here now as he delivers the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. The inning is over. Whatever it is he's doing, it's working and working well. Brook Knight is very upset and has been much of the evening, not only with the play of his team, I'm sure, but with the way the game has been called. And he comes muttering his way down the line, trying to get Elijah Bester to perhaps pick up his game a little bit as we go. Kaysen Concerina struck out looking. I can hear Brook Knight kind of giving the business to Elijah from here, and that's unusual. Even with Amanda, Brook's wife, talking on the field for an on-field promotion, Brook's voice is wafting up here, and Brook isn't pleased. It's been a tough night for the Knights. We go to the 5th. Portland 7, the Knights nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Hey Corvallis Knights fans, looking for an amazing deal? Come down to Wilson Motors. Visit us today and get free tickets to Wilson Motors Night with the Corvallis Knights on July 24th. It's a night you won't want to miss. Exciting baseball, great company, and fantastic giveaways. While you're here, check out our wide variety of vehicles. From sleek sedans to rugged trucks, we've got something for everyone. Wilson Motors, the one-stop shop for unbeatable deals and unforgettable nights.
Top of the fifth inning, one of the best defenders in the West Coast League has been masterful at shortstop and at second base. In keeping with sort of the spirit of the evening. A ground ball to short, a little bit to Tai Yukamoto's right, but the ball gets under him for an error to open the top of the fifth on the first pitch of the inning delivered by C.J. Collier. The Knights' fourth error of the night. They trail it 6-0. Jack Mecho has been up 4 times. He's been on base 4 times. He's at first base leading off the fifth. Armando Briseño fouls the first pitch back from C.J. Collier. 0-1 the count. C.J. to the plate, misses outside. Lavin thought about throwing down to Coulter McAnally at first. The Pickles leading 7-0. The Knights have gotten them 5 consecutive games, 5-0 on the season series. It's been all Portland so far tonight. We're in the fifth. McAnally back to the plate. The 1-0 pitch, I should say, 1-1 pitch is a strike, belt high, 1-2 the count. Briseño doubled deep to left in the first when the Pickles scored 4 times. He has since flied to right and had a walk with the bases loaded on a very close pitch that was called ball 4. The 1-2 pitch, slider taken, strike 3 called. Excellent pitch by C.J. Collier, whose stuff is really sharp now. He's struck out 3 of the last 4 hitters. The last 3 of the last 4 outs have been via the strikeout. Dalton Mayshore has struck out tonight. He didn't like the call in the first inning when he was rung up. Has since been hit by a pitch and walked with the bases loaded. Jack Mecho at first, 1 out. Collier to the plate, hit foul into Urchin Alley to my right. No balls and 1 strike to Dalton Mayshore. Mecho getting aboard on the error is 2 for 2 in stolen bases on the summer, held on by Coulter McAnally. No balls and 1 strike. CJ to the plate. Fastball swung on and missed. 0-2 the count. Armando Briseño had a walk-off hit against USC for Long Beach State this May. Good ball player coming off an excellent season. No balls and 2 strikes, 7-0 Pickles. Off speed and down, 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. And it's so great to have baseball back in the city proper, deep southeast. Beautiful Walker Stadium in Lentz Park, the home of the Pickles. And an inspired fan vote for the team nickname. Ground ball to third. Backing up is Takeuchi. Goes to Ferraggiaro for 1. On to first for the double play. Around the horn, 5-4-3. The inning is over. For the first time, the Knights face the minimum, and perhaps that defensive play, Takeuchi to Ferraggiaro to McAnally, can get the Knights going. We'll see. 5-4-3. The inning is over. We go to the bottom of the fifth. There were some choices, some good choices for the team nickname for the Portland franchise in the West Coast League. We'll give you those choices when we return and hope that you agree that the fans in Portland in the vote came up with the right one. To the bottom of the fifth we go. The Pickles 7, the Knights nothing on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Bottom of the fifth inning. 7-0 Portland. And around the horn double play. Perhaps a pick-me-up of sorts for the Knights. We'll try to find out together here in the bottom of the fifth. Coulter McAnally looking to bunt for a hit and bunts foul. No balls and a strike. Coulter aboard on an error in the second. Bottom of the fifth, 7-0 Pickles. Not the Pixels. The strike one breaking ball is low. The count 1-1. From what I understand, the candidates for the team name put out for a fan vote, the following names were on the ballot. The 1-1 pitch, breaking ball, a strike, and the count 1-2. The Red Dogs, the Pliers, the Mudhounds, the Pickles, the Pixels, and the Posse. Now, they all have certain aspects that are kind of attractive. The pitch to McAnally, a ground ball sharply to short. Tyler Harries picks it up off the turf and throws out McAnally, one away. Luke Lavin, who popped to second in the second, will be the hitter. Those were the choices. Again, Red Dogs, Pliers, Mudhounds, Pixels, Posse, and the one that ultimately emerged, Pickles. Excellent choice, I think. And it's the Pickles leading the Knights, 7-0 in the bottom of the fifth. The Knights so named for the owner. It's a good team name. The Knights, heck, was good enough for Bernard Malamute in the natural. But the former Aloha Knights, Corvallis Knights, named for team owner Penny Knight. The 1-0 pitch in there for a strike to Luke Lavin. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Freddie Rodriguez has limited the Knights to 1 hit. He has been excellent with that Bob Gibson-esque ERA coming in at 1.12. The 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Breeze is picking up as they are wont to do this time of the evening. Freddie again with a different type of leg kick delivers. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. The 1968 season, the so-called year of the pitcher, Denny McLain winning 31. El Tiante had an ERA of 1.60. Gibby 13 shutouts, 1.12. Rodriguez kicks and comes back to the plate, taken low by Luke. The count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Don Drysdale, a scoreless streak, 58 consecutive scoreless innings, 6 straight shutouts. I think I listened to every inning of that streak. And then later begged my dad on a work night to take me to Chavez Ravine, and he did. The 2-2 pitch, Luke takes just outside, ball 3, 3-2, because Drysdale and Gibson were squaring off. If Gibson threw a shutout, he would have broken Don Drysdale's consecutive scoreless record, would have had his 6th straight shutout, and broken Don's record for scoreless innings. Gibson, Drysdale at Dodger Stadium. The 3-2 pitch is in the turf for ball 4. Good job by Luke. The Knights need action. They need base runners, and Luke worked it from 1-2 to ball 4 and heads down to first. Houston Wheeler, the hitter. It was, I remember, a school night, a work night, but off we went. The Dodgers were not having a good year, but it was Drysdale and Gibson, and I think the crowd ended up being 47 to 50,000 in the 55,000-seat stadium. Well, we got there just in time to see Gibson throw a wild pitch in the first inning, and the streak was over. And I'm jumping up deliriously and cheering because my guy, Big D, Dandy Don's record was safe. Now, Gibby went on to beat the Dodgers 5-1, but he did wild pitch homer run in that first, and I saw him in that amazing 68 year in person. What an incredible pitcher. A throw to first base, Luke Lavin back to the bag. And for me, the best part of the story, not seeing Gibby throw a wild pitch per se, but my dad saying yes. Dear man, dear soul. Lost him 10 years ago, but he was such a giving person and a hard-working man. Had to be tired that night after a long day at work, but off we went to Dodger Stadium. just my dad and me to watch that ball game. Houston Wheeler swings and misses, and the count, no balls and 2 strikes. And those types of things didn't happen often. We usually plan, but that was sort of a spontaneous. Dad, can we go? Let's go. The Gibson drive. Yeah, okay, let's go, son. Let's go. The strike 2 pitch is high. 1-2 the count. I had not yet turned 10. Good times indeed. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. Portland has enjoyed the good times tonight in this one. The Pickles lead it 7-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Houston Wheeler swings and foul tips it into the mid of the catcher, Connor Stewart, for strike 3, 2 down. 6 strikeouts for Freddie Rodriguez. Thomas Ferraggiaro, the hitter. Thomas has struck out twice, swinging and looking. Coming down the stretch of the regular season, the Pickles have had a big year, trying to pile up as many wins as possible and stay in touch for the chance to have the best overall record in the West Coast League. They have work to do, though, trailing the Knights at the start of the night by 3 games, but effectively by 4, and that the Knights have the tiebreaker. Ferraggiaro takes high, ball 1. Luke Lavin at first, 2 down. Luke draws a throw and gets back to the bag. Steve Kimmel brought hot dogs. Amanda's bringing a hot dog. Linda gave me watermelon and blueberries. This is just a big night at the ballpark, so there are good things happening. Amanda. The pitch is in there for a strike. The count 1-1. So the ball game itself has not been especially rewarding for Knights fans, of which I've won so far, but there are other rewards being lavished upon me out here, and I'm grateful for them. The 1-1 pitch to Ferraggiaro, off speed, good pitch from Freddie, swung on and missed, and the count 1-2. Two outs, Luke Lavin at first. One of the quietest ball games of the summer of 2024, just in terms of fan involvement. Freddie Rodriguez has done a good job to kind of just keep everybody somewhat subdued here tonight. The Knights have had very little going on, no runs and a hit, and they've committed 4 errors on the other side and trail at 7-0. Freddie's 2-2 pitch on the way, pulled foul past Coach Nags. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Pickles are good. No shame in being behind them. They start the night at 31-13 and in the lead in the South Division at the second half at 14-5. The Knights at 12-5. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Breaking ball, a blooper into shallow right field, and it'll drop for a base hit. Thomas Ferraggiaro gets one to drop in front of Tanner Griffith, and you hear the fans with a little something to cheer about. Stopping at second base, Luke Lavin. Tai Yukamoto, the hitter. And we'll see if Ty, who is 1 for 2, can give the crowd, which has gotten into it for the first time this evening, something more to get excited about. The pitch to Yukamoto, a line drive, base hit to right field. Now Luke Lavin rounds third. He'll be held there with Tanner Griffith throwing a strike back into the cutoff man, Kevin Ferguson. Luke just does not have the kind of speed that would induce Brook to send him in that situation. But the Knights do have the bases loaded, 2 down, for Brandon Cabrera, and a chance for the Knights with Kevin Takeuchi, the RBI leader, on deck to, if Brandon can get on and do something, then Takeuchi comes up and suddenly 7-0 can turn around in a hurry. A conversation going on the mound now with Freddie Rodriguez. With the Knights showing some life here in the bottom of the fifth with one out, a walk, and a strikeout, 2 outs. Back-to-back base hits, a blooper to right from Thomas Ferragaro, a solid single to right for Tai Yukamoto. Brandon Cabrera, the hitter. And it feels very much like the Knights shot. The shot to be in this game, to have a shot at the game, rides on what happens right here with a left-hander beginning to throw in the bullpen back of Freddie Rodriguez, who has been magnificent. We'll see if Freddie, from his perspective, can find his way through the first threat of the evening. Bases loaded, 2 down for Brandon, who has walked and bounced into a force play. Rodriguez rocks, kicks, and delivers in the turf. Ball 1, 1-0. Knights fans are beginning to get into it now, clapping rhythmically and trying to support Brandon. They're used to seeing their guys prosper in situations such as this. And a night that's been all Pickles, the Knights trying to change that up. The 1-0 pitch is outside, ball 2, 2-0. I can't quite get a read on the pitcher. I think it's Chris Downs loosening up back of Freddie Rodriguez with the bases loaded and 2 down. The 2-0 pitch is low for ball 3. A throw down to second from Connor Stewart to Alex Govea. Not in time. Getting back in safely, Thomas Ferragaro. 3 balls and no strikes to Brandon Cabrera with Kevin Takeuchi on deck. The Knights are a ball away from getting on the scoreboard. And if Brandon gets on, then you've got one of the most prolific hitters in this league, and Kevin Takeuchi coming up with a chance to get you closer. Big pitch right here for Freddie Rodriguez. Bases loaded, 2 down, 7-0 Portland, 3-0 to Brandon Cabrera. Rodriguez rocks, kicks, delivers a strike, in the count 3-1. Cabrera appeared to be taking all the way, even though Brook probably green-lighted him, but Brandon takes a strike right down the middle. Now 3-1 with the sacks full and 2 down. Freddie rocks and delivers the 3-1 pitch, swung on and missed. So here it feels as though the game rides. The runners will go on the pitch. If Rodriguez gets out of it, I'm not sure the Knights are going to have another look at it, just to be honest with you, the way things have gone. This is their look. The runners will go on the pitch, 3-2, 2 down. Lavin from third, Ferragaro from second, Yukamoto from first. The 3-2 pitch is popped up. And Rodriguez does his job. He gets out of it. A fly ball to right. Tanner Griffith moves in to make the catch. Rodriguez comes back from a 3-0 count with the bases loaded to put up another 0. Great work on his part. We go to the 6th. We have a pitching change coming. The Knights will bring in a left-hander. We will take a 2-minute pitching change break. It's the Portland Pickles 7, the Corvallis Knights nothing. Back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
We want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Knights fans, looking for an amazing deal? Come down to Wilson Motors. Visit us today and get free tickets to Wilson Motors Night with the Corvallis Knights on July 24th. It's a night you won't want to miss. Exciting baseball, great company, and fantastic giveaways. While you're here, check out our wide variety of vehicles. From sleek sedans to rugged trucks, we've got something for everyone. Wilson Motors, the one-stop shop for unbeatable deals and unforgettable nights. Hurry in and score your tickets today at Wilson Motors on
Left-hander Quinn Dufort into the ballgame as we move to the 6th inning. The Portland Pilots commit. Good two-way player for the Knights. Delivers a first pitch strike to Taylor Griffith, the left-handed hitter. Dufort back to the plate with a strike one pitch just outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. 7-0 Pickles. Top of the 6th inning. The Pickles appear to be in pretty good shape thanks to the work of Freddie Rodriguez to salvage this finale. The pitch is fouled back by Taylor Griffith. The count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dufort having a strong season offensively, hitting .340 with 24 runs batted in. Comes out of the bullpen to pitch. Delivers to Griffith, who hits one foul, Waldo away to the left and out of play. Quinn making his 5th appearance, 4 1/3, 4 hits, just 1 run, 6 walks, 5 strikeouts. Swung on and missed on the off-speed pitch to Taylor Griffith. Strike 3. Good start for Quinn Dufort. Knights pitching has not retired the side in order. Quinn hopes to be the first with the Pickles in command, 7-0. Alex Govea, the hitter. Quinn from the bright sunshine into the shadows, delivers a first pitch strike. 0-1 to Govea, who walked and scored in the Pickles' 4-run first. Has grounded to third and grounded to second. Dufort working quickly, the lefty back with the 0-1 pitch inside. 1-1 the count. If you live or work in one of 24 Western or Central Oregon counties, then you're entitled to membership privileges and the full financial services of Oregon State Credit Union. Dufort's 1-1 pitch hit foul just below our vantage point. The count goes to 1-2. Join online at OregonStateCU.com or at one of their 15 branches. Oregon State Credit Union, investing in all of our communities and dedicated to creating financial solutions toward making local lives better. A little pop-up to the second baseman, Thomas Ferraggiaro, patrolling out in shallow center field to make the catch. 2 away in the 6th. Kevin Ferguson having a good ball game. Singled home 2 runs in the first, doubled in the 3rd, struck out in his last at-bat. 2 outs, nobody on in the 6th. 7-0 Pickles. Quinn Dufort looking for that elusive 1-2-3 inning. Delivers to Ferguson, who hits one foul into the lower grandstand below the Jack Riley concourse. I enjoyed hearing Mitch Canham kind of break down the coaching history here last night during our live stream and broadcast here on Joe Radio. The strike 1 pitch, foul back, and the count 0-2. I'm reminded of it simply seeing Susan Casey here with her son John. Susan, one of those balls that Lil Knight and others shot into the stands, a soft, I'm not exactly sure what kind of balls they are. They're soft. So what I'm about to tell you, fret not. But she got hit in the head, I think, by one of those balls descending into the area behind the Knights dugout. She was at least surprised by it. It made some contact with Susan Casey, Pat's wife. The strike 2 pitch misses high, so that got me thinking about Pat, seeing Susan and John here. Mitch said, well, Jack Riley coached 22 years here. Pat Casey, 24 years. I need to go at least 25, he said. The 1-2 pitch is very high, ball 2, 2-2. And a gentleman with a tremendous commitment to his alma mater. We have seen that hasn't always stood us in good stead. The 2-2 pitch on the way, hit foul towards the Omaha Room off to the right and out of play in the uncertain, anxious, existential crisis times that we've been in. Mitch has continued to, as he talked about last night, his vision for this program, even in the uncertainty of our world. The 2-2 breaking ball taken, strike 3 called. Quinn Dufort sets a good tone. He comes in his first inning of work and sets down the Pickles in order. And we'll see if the Knights, who had the bases loaded and a chance to get back in, can find another means of rallying. The one good thing perhaps is they'll get a chance, however good the left-hander might be, it'll be somebody other than Freddie Rodriguez as we go to the bottom of the sixth. 7-0 Portland will take a 2-minute pitching change break with the Pickles dipping into their bullpen. Back in 2 on the night's live stream and Joe Radio. Where left-hander Chris Downs making his 7th appearance takes over for Freddie Rodriguez, who was tremendous here tonight, limiting the Knights to no runs and 3 hits, and hands off a 7-0 lead to the lefty Downs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Chris has worked 14 2/3 innings for the Pickles, 11 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned. He's walked 5, struck out 12, a record of 1-0, a save, an ERA of 2.45. But just the way Freddie was going, the Knights might feel a little bit emboldened by the fact there's somebody else out there. Kevin Takeuchi to lead things off against Downs. The big lefty out of Mapmore Country delivers. And the pitch to Kevin Takeuchi hit foul off the Omaha room to the right and into Urchin Alley. And I can hear the urchins are screaming, chasing after the baseball. No balls and a strike. Takeuchi has flied to center and struck out looking. The Knights left the bases loaded last inning, their first real peek at getting into the game, and came up just a little empty. The strike one pitch from the lefty Downs swung on and fouled back. 0-2 the count. Downs, a big southpaw, 6'7", 225 out of Santa Clarita, California. And a pitcher in Larry Lee's outstanding program at Cal Poly. 0-2 the count to Kevin Takeuchi. Downs to the plate. Kevin hits a fly ball to right field right at Tanner Griffith. Tanner barely needs to move. He pulls it in for the first out in the bottom of the 6th. Quinn Dufort, the hitter. Chris made 12 appearances for Coach Lee this past spring at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. 21 2/3, 9 walks and 17 strikeouts, a record of 2-0. Quinn Dufort, the batter. Left on left here, Quinn has walked and grounded to first. He is now the pitcher, began the game as the designated hitter, and the Knights losing the DH. Dufort takes a strike, 0-1 the count. Bottom of the 6th, 7-0 Portland. The 6'7" lefty works out of the stretch with nobody on. A ground ball back up the middle and through into center field. Base hit. Quinn Dufort, a one-out single. Kaysen Concerina, who has grounded into a double play. Bit of a controversial call at first in the second inning. Kaysen will be the hitter now, has struck out looking in his other at-bat. A one-out single for Dufort. The Knights lineup is potent enough that we saw even an example last inning. Not much seemed to be going on, but all of a sudden the bases were loaded with good hitters coming up and a chance to make a move, and Rodriguez just had the answer for it. Concerina takes low, ball 1-0. I mentioned Downs being out of Matt Moore country. That's Hart High School in Newhall. That's where Ed Nags went as well. The Knights' first base coach went to Hart. Out of the stretch works Chris Downs. The 1-0 pitch, a strike. The count 1-1. I believe, I've never really checked or confirmed, but I believe Hart High School is named for William S. Hart, who I also believe, don't know this for a full fact either, but all facts can be checked immediately by anyone, anywhere, at any time. But it's just something I think I've read or picked up somewhere along the way. The 1-1 pitch, down and in, ball 2-1. Whether he was a filmmaker or a star in early Hollywood, 1915s, 20s Hollywood, famous for riding off into the sunset. Those images that we have of sort of the classic, the hero rides off into the sunset. I think William S. Hart might have been a guy that did a little of that. The 2-1 pitch swung on and missed, and the count 2-2. Romantic imagery from the history of cinema, I believe, that's associated with William S. Hart, for whom the school is named, but that may be something I'll have to look up later, but it's on my mind at the moment. Chris Downs out of Hart High School looks over at first at Dufort. The 2-2 pitch, foul back by Concerina to keep the at-bat alive. The Pickles 4 runs in the first, 3 in the third. The Knights had their really only threat last inning and left the bases loaded. Now with this crowd hanging in with them on this Sunday evening, hoping to have something to get excited about, stomping their feet a little bit together. The 2-2 pitch is outside, ball 3-2 to Concerina. Coulter McAnally, the on-deck hitter. The Knights taking the first 2 games of the series. The Pickles trying to get one not only of this series but of the season series. The Knights are 5-0. The 3-2 pitch is high for ball 4. Quinn Dufort to second. Kaysen Concerina down to first. Coulter McAnally, the hitter. Coulter aboard on an error in the second, grounded to short in the fifth. Left-hander Chris Downs on in relief of the brilliant Frankie Rodriguez, who came in with great numbers and leaves enhancing them. 5 scoreless against the Knights. Downs has had good numbers this summer, too. His first pitch is in there for a strike to McAnally. 0-1 the count, 2 on, 1 out. 7-0 Pickles in the bottom of the 6th inning. Quinn Dufort at second, Kaysen Concerina at first. The strike 1 pitch, a chopper towards the second baseman, Govea. Steps on second for 1 and throws to first for the double play. The inning is over. And it's just, it just ain't your night, ain't my night. You sent me there. They've been in Palookaville, I guess is what I'm saying, through 6. But they are hardly Palookas. The Knights are 7 straight champs. They've won 5 in a row against Portland. But tonight, it just doesn't seem to be their night so far. We are through 6. It's been a good night for the Pickles. We go to the 7th. Portland 7, the Knights nothing on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
This news that you can trust. Subscribe to the Gazette Times, your go-to source for in-depth journalism and breaking news. From local stories that impact your community to consistent updates to your Beavers and Knights, the Gazette-Times has it all. For only $1 for 3 months, enjoy unlimited access to our e-edition, unlimited articles on GazetteTimes.com and our mobile app, and free access to newspapers.com archives. Subscribe today and join the Gazette-Times community, where Knights fans looking for an amazing deal? Come down to Wilson Motors. Visit us today and get free tickets to Wilson Motors Night with the Corvallis Knights on July 24th. It's a night you won't want to miss. Exciting baseball, great company, and fantastic giveaways. While you're here, check out our wide variety of vehicles. From sleek sedans to rugged trucks, we've got something for everyone. Wilson Motors, the one-stop shop for unbeatable deals and unforgettable nights. Hurry in and score your tickets today at Wilson Motors on
Through 6 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the Portland Pickles 7 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. The Corvallis Knights no runs, 4 hits, and 4 errors. The first pitch to Connor Stewart from Quinn Duport down and in. Now the 1-0 pitch grounded foul past Jordan Barkus. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Top of the 7th, 7-0 Portland. Left-hander Quinn Duport, the 4th pitcher of the night for the Knights, comes to the plate. Connor Stewart, a chopper back of third and over the glove of Kevin Takeuchi into left field for a base hit. The Pickles were retired in order last inning by Duport. The only time that's happened in the game. They get their 7th hit on the leadoff single by Connor Stewart. Britton Beeson, the batter. Britton walked in the first, aboard on an error in the third, struck out looking in the 4th. Duport to the plate, and a very Brook Knight-esque and Mark Magdaleno-esque moment in that, with a 7-run lead here, even here in the 7th. Coach Magdaleno has Britton Beeson showing bunt, pulls the bat back and takes high. The 1-0 pitch, Britton not bunting here, swings and misses. The count 1-1. Beeson from Southern California began his career at Fullerton College, a school record 66 RBIs there in 23. Britton swings and doesn't get it, and the count 1-2 from Villa Park in the Southland and competing at University of Hawaii. 1-2 the count to Britton Beeson. A leadoff single for Connor Stewart, held on by Coulter McAnally. Duport to the plate, strike 3 called. Good pitch on the inner half. The 3rd strikeout for Quinn Duport. 1 away in the 7th, Tyler Harry's the batter. Quinn Duport and Luke Lavin, the Knights battery. Coulter McAnally at first, Thomas Ferraggiaro at second, Tai Yukamoto at short, Kevin Takeuchi at third, Houston Wheeler in left, Brandon Cabrera in center, Kaysen Consarina in right. The southpaw Quinn Duport looks over at Connor Stewart, comes to the plate, popped up on the right side. McAnally backpedals. He will defer, though, to second baseman Thomas Ferraggiaro, who makes the catch. 2 down, and Jack Mecho, who has been up 4 times and on 4 times, will come to the plate. Mecho opened the game with a bloop single to right center field. And in a very real sense, the tone was set. It was a good pitcher's pitch from Peyton Riskey, but the ball found a hole. The Pickles scored 4 in the first, 3 more in the third. They lead it comfortably 7-0 here in the top of the 7th. Bright sunshine for the left fielder Houston Wheeler to deal with. The first pitch knee high for a strike to Jack Mecho, who has since singled to center. drew a walk with the bases loaded and a board on an error. Dufort throws over to first base. Back to the bag goes Connor Stewart. Connor picked up his second stolen base of the season in the fourth inning. A good crowd here, but it's been rather on the quiet side. Kind of a lazy, hazy day of summer. The strike one pitch missing. Not so hazy today, actually. Another clear day. We've been blessed. There are wildfires all around in central and southeast Oregon. And our AQI in the teens again today. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 down. Dufort to the plate. Fastball for a strike. Good pitch from Quinn in the count 1-2. My friend the Bard from Portland, Bruce Coburn, small source of comfort. Dawn was breaking in the air as he sings in his song 551. You don't take these things for granted when you think of what's in need of repair. The 1-2 pitch, a check swing off speed in the turf in the count 2-2. And each day when I arise and look out the window, saw the clouds and the cool and was surprised by that this morning. But when the sun did break through and we're blessed again with blue skies and an AQI in the teens, indeed a small source of comfort that we take not for granted. The 2-2 pitch popped up on the right side in foul territory for the moment. Coulter McAnally straddling the line, makes the catch to retire the side, and Quinn Dufort has been very good through 2. No runs, a hit, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Portland has been very good through their first 6 innings. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's the Pickles 7 and the Knights nothing in this series finale. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Bottom of the 7th inning at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The Portland Pickles leading the Corvallis Knights 7-0. 1,432 on hand on this pleasant Sunday evening. The song, an odd tune in the overall scheme of things. The Killers' Mr. Brightside playing between innings with the fans on their feet singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And from that to Mr. Brightside, decidedly different in tone. The lyrics to that, I listen carefully, and it's interesting, isn't it, Mr. Brightside? The pitch to Luke Lavin, a strike. But I do have a soft spot for the Killers, only in that my daughter blessed me back in 2012 by taking me, her old man, to see them in Portland. The strike one pitch down and away in the count 1-1, and she just sent me a photograph from being at the Paps Project Waterfront Festival tonight in downtown Portland, getting ready to watch Big Thief. Saw Billy Idol there last night. So thank you, Elle, and what a wonderful time we had listening to Mr. Brightside and Human. And that's the song about the pitch to Lavin fouled away. My favorite, and I can't even remember, something about Moon River, What'd You Do to Me, Starlight, and can't remember the title. It's my favorite song by them. Yeah, that tells you how much I love it. Don't know the title. The 1-2 pitch coming to Luke Lavin. 7-0 Pickles. Luke rolls over, hits a two-hopper to the first baseman, Kevin Ferguson, who takes it to the bag himself to retire Lavin. Cinderella, Starlight, something about Moon River, What'd You Do to Me. I love that song, but I can't come up with a title at the moment. But to be asked by your young daughter, I mean, how many years ago? That's 12 years ago. She wanted tickets to the Killers as a gift, and so I got, and who do you want? Who are you going to go with? Dad, will you go? Oh, my gosh, yes. So I've always liked the Killers for that reason, even a weird song like Mr. Brightside. Houston Wheeler steps in, swings and misses, 0-1 the count. One out, nobody on, bottom of the seventh. A longer meditation on Mr. Brightside because it's 7-0 Pickles. Wheeler rolls one slowly foul in front of the Pickles dugout in the count 0-2. Chris Downs pitching well. What is the name of that? Somebody please, if you're listening, what is that song I'm grappling to come up with? And to the end, I grapple with thee. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Breezes blowing out to left. Beautiful Sunday night. There is that. The strike 2 pitch fouled away. Delaney is here to ask me about who our player of the game is. Quinn Dufort would be the guy so far, and most likely in the leader in the clubhouse, I would say at this point. But we'll see, because if the Knights make a big rally, and I'm still kind of hoping and believing they might, Delaney, we'll see. Wheeler swings and fouls one back. Then we might have to modify that. But for now, if things kind of continue to play out the way they are, we'll go with Quinn Dufort. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 7 runs, 7 hits for the Pickles. No runs, 4 hits for the Corvallis Knights. The strike 2 pitch to the backstop over Houston Wheeler's head and the mitt of Connor Stewart. Chris Downs and Connor Stewart, the battery for Portland. Kevin Ferguson at first, Alex Govea at second, Tyler Harries at short, Jack Mecho at third, Britton Beeson in left, Dalton Mayshore in center, Tanner Griffith in right. Chris Downs to the plate, and Houston fights it off. Fouling the pitch at the plate to hang in there. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Starlight, Cinderella, Liberty. No, that's Jack Nicholson. I don't know. It ain't going to come to me. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, but I'm hearing it in my head as we go. I like the tune. Out of the stretch works Chris Downs. The 1-2 pitch fouled away again at the plate. And it 1 ball and 2 strikes. Are we still good? Evan, can you hear me? Brian, Evan, are you there? Okay, something just popped for some reason in my ear. I wasn't sure if we were still on. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Left-hander Chris Downs again working on Houston, who's battling him. But in the end, Downs wins the battle. Swung out and missed, strike 3. And that's just sort of the nature of the event tonight. Moments here and there where the Knights show signs of coming back and loading the bases, for example, in the 5th inning. But Freddie Rodriguez had the answers, and now Chris Downs, 2 outs, nobody on, and out away from another scoreless inning. The Pickles leading 7-0, looking for their first win of the season in 6 games against the Pickles. They have a number of their fans here making the trip down who have enjoyed the journey down. A tremendous fan base for the Pickles in what has been a big hit in the Rose City. The first pitch, a strike to Ferragamo. The 0-1 pitch is in there for strike 2. I thoroughly enjoy the trips that I've been able to take through the summers to Walker Stadium at Lentz Park, and there may be one indeed in the postseason coming. The strike 2 pitch, up and in to Ferragamo, 1-2 the count. The Pickles are a playoff-bound team, and we'll just see how it all shakes out. It appears as though the Pickles are going to make it. 1-2, 2 down, bottom of the 7th. Pickles in command here, 7-0. Chris Downs to the plate, fouled at the plate by The switch hitter Ferrajaro turning around to bat from the right side. One ball and two strikes with Tai Yukamoto on deck. The youngsters here trying to make a little bit of noise on the metal bleachers, but it appears to be to no avail. A pop-up off first, a foul ball. Racing in is Kevin Ferguson, the first baseman. Avoids a collision with Connor Stewart, the catcher, in front of his own dugout. Not able to make the play. Ferrajaro stays up there. One ball and two strikes with two down. We mentioned Travis Bazzana, and speaking of the Pickles and their great fan base and ballpark, the ownership team, the leadership team. One of the, in fact, the owner of the Pickles, Alan Miller, one of the co-owners of the Portland Pickles franchise, John Ryan, a Seahawks punter in the Super Bowl win over Denver. Alan Miller is also the owner of the club that Travis Bazzana is playing for now, and that's a cool connection. Travis going 2 for 4 tonight. Pop foul into right field, going out and making the play and doing so amid two other hustling ball players. A good catch made by Alex Govea out in shallow right field with the right fielder Tanner Griffith pressing, Kevin Ferguson going out. Govea keeps his cool and makes the catch out in right. Good play, and the Knights are gone in the 7th. No runs, no hits, and nobody left. Through 7, Portland 7, the Knights nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Quinn Duport works on Armando Briseño. The first pitch missing. The 1-0 offering swung out and missed. 1-1 the count. The designated hitter Briseño has double, flied to right, had a bases loaded walk, and struck out. He takes high and away from Quinn. Ball 2, 2-1. 7-0 Portland. Top of the 8th inning. 1,432. Some beginning to take off, but most of the crowd has stayed. The 2-1 pitch swung out and missed. 2-2 the count. Mitch Cannon put it well last night when he showed up here at the ballpark to watch James DeCramer work. The 2-2 pitch on the way to Briseño, taken, strike 3 call. Quinn Duport has been a real bright spot. There haven't been a lot of them here tonight for the Knights, but Quinn's pitching and the fact that he has a walk and a base hit has indeed been enjoyable to watch unfold. But Mitch put it well last night. He just said, hey, what better place to be, beautiful summer night, than the ballpark. And Rich Dorman said, I miss this ballpark. I miss being here. I miss being with our team, referring to the Beavers and the bonds that are created during a long college season. A 1-0 pitch, a grounder to short. Yukamoto bobbles, stays with it, but throws out Dalton Mayshore. 2 away in the top of the 8th inning. Dufort retired the side in order in the 6th, gave up a leadoff single last inning, but has set down the last 5 batters. And now Taylor Griffith at the plate, left on left. The first pitch to Taylor, hit on 1 hop to Knights second baseman Thomas Ferraggiaro, who throws to first. Dufort has done all that he can to just try to keep everything settled down and give the Knights a shot. Good pitching by Quinn Dufort, 3 innings worth. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It remains the Pickles 7 and the Knights nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Bottom of the 8th inning, left-hander Chris Downs with a 7-0 lead delivers the first pitch to Tai Yukamoto. High and inside. Tai 2 for 3, so he and Quinn Dufort indeed bright spots this evening for the Knights. But for the most part, it's the Pickles night. They lead at 7-0. Yukamoto, a slow roller up along first, and Tai is in safely, compromising the defense with a dribbler that Kevin Ferguson, the first baseman, raced in to get to, but it was hit so slowly, and Kevin had to come in front of the bag. Yukamoto ran by him, head first slide into the bag for his 3rd hit. The Knights get their leadoff man aboard, Brandon Cabrera, the hitter. 7-0. Portland leads, but you know that Mark Magdaleno, watching his club lose in a number of ways to the Knights this summer through the first 5 games, is not taking anything for granted. As well as Freddie Rodriguez pitched and as well as Chris Downs has pitched. There's another arm getting ready. It looks like Carter Delaney, a right-hander, loosening. The first pitch to Brandon Cabrera, a strike, 0-1 the count. The 6-7 southpaw set comes to the plate. Brandon takes strike 2. 0-2 the count. Cabrera has walked, bounced into a force play, and then flied to right with the bases loaded. No balls and 2 strikes, and the 0-2 pitch taken, strike 3 called. The biggest moment in the game for the Knights was the bases loaded situation in the 5th, down 7-0. And Freddie Rodriguez, facing his only real pressure of the night, fell behind to Brandon 3-0 and then came back and got him to fly to right. Kevin Takeuchi, the batter. The first pitch to Kevin hit foul over the Omaha Room off the facade of Dixon Rec and into Urchin Alley. No balls and 1 strike to Kevin here in the bottom of the 8th. 7-0 Pickles. The 0-1 pitch, a wild one. Connor Stewart chases the baseball down near the Knights on-deck area. Tai Yukamoto into second. The temperature dropping, cooling off here considerably. In what time do we have now? The games normally start at 6:35, Sundays at 5:05. But here at 7:43, we are kind of in a wind tunnel here, with the wind's blowing out to left center. But I can tell I'm not alone. Just looking around, seeing people going to their extra layer as things cool off. The pitch on the way is in the turf. Ball 2, 2-1. And I have not had confirmed, but is it true there's a chance of rain tomorrow? This to me today had to be one of the cooler ever July 28th, and we could have rain on July 29th on the morrow. 2 balls and a strike to Kevin Takeuchi. Tai Yukamoto at second. 7-0 Portland. A ground ball to the left of the shortstop. Tyler Harries fires to first in time. 2 down. On the play, Yukamoto to third. But that is a big out for left-hander Chris Downs. The Pickles closing in on taking 1 of 6. The Knights winning the first 5 games head-to-head, but the Pickles leading this one 7-0. Quinn Dufort has walked, rounded out, and had a single to center and has pitched 3 very good innings. Quinn takes a strike here in the count 0-1. 7-0 Portland. Dufort could add to his resume for the Washington Park Advisors Player of the Game with an RBI single here. Yukamoto at third, 2 down. Chris Downs out of the stretch, works the left-hand hitting Quinn Dufort. Down and in, ball 1, 1-1. The Knights will be right back at it tomorrow night, 6:35, Philomath night at the ballpark. Dufort takes high and inside, ball 2. Again, our thanks to the Albany Youth Orchestra. They played the national anthem a couple of hours back. 30 members of a 100-member youth orchestra were here under the direction of Isaac Andrews. 3rd through 12th graders, they did an outstanding job. Great to see that program continuing. 2 balls and a strike to Quinn Dufort. Downs to the plate. Quinn gets a piece of the 2-1 pitch, fouling it straight back. The count is even, 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. All Pickles tonight, 7-0. Walla Walla here tomorrow, 6:35, the first of 3. Old Timers Night and Halloween in July night. The final night of July. The 2-2 pitch missing for ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kaysen Concerina on deck. That'll be Wednesday night, the final night of the month of July, believe it or not. The 3-2 pitch. Quinn, a little nubber out in front of the plate. Picked up by Connor Stewart. Throws to first in time. Good play, and the inning is over. The shutout continues for the Portland Pickles. A leadoff single for Tai Yukamoto. He's left stranded at third. We go to the 9th. Portland 7, the Corvallis Knights nothing on the Knights live stream. Back in 90 on Joe Radio.
Looking for the latest news that you can trust? Subscribe to the Gazette-Times, your go-to source for in-depth journalism and breaking news. From local stories that impact your community to consistent updates to your Beavers and Knights, the Gazette-Times has it all. For only $1 for 3 months, enjoy unlimited access to our e-edition, unlimited articles on GazetteTimes.com and our mobile app, and free access to newspapers.com archives. Subscribe today and join the Gazette-Times community.
Top of the ninth inning, 7-0 Pickles. 3 outs away from salvaging 1 of 6. Quinn Dufort in his 4th inning of work throws one into the arm of the hitter, Alex Govea. And Alex will head down to first base, getting drilled by the pitch in his left arm, I believe. Walking slowly down to first, met by Griffin Williams. And Mark Magdaleno, the head coach, comes out to see about his talented second baseman. Govea grimacing, shakes off the hit by pitch. And the batter is Kevin Ferguson. Kevin's had a good ball game. He singled home 2 runs in the first, doubled in the third. He has struck out in his last 2 at-bats, but big early when the Pickles were taking command of this one. 4 runs in the first and 3 in the third. Dufort to Ferguson, down and in, ball 1, 1-0. Philomath night tomorrow. I just asked Delaney if she had details on what that entails. A surprise, special surprises for all Philomath residents in attendance. So if you do live in Philomath, and I suppose have the proof of that, you're going to be pleasantly surprised by what comes your way tomorrow. I can't guarantee that everybody, and if the whole town of Philomath showed up, that'd be wonderful. We'd try to find a way to make it work. But Philomath residents will be lavished with surprises tomorrow night. The 1-0 pitch to Ferguson off the mitt of the Knights catcher, and to second base goes Govea. The pitch to Ferguson lined into left field for a base hit. Ferguson rounds third and will score, or Govea rounds third and scores on the RBI single by Kevin Ferguson. The Pickles lead it 8-0. Connor Stewart will be the hitter. And Quinn Dufort is still in decent shape to get the highly coveted Washington Park Advisors Player of the Game distinction, giving up the first run that he's allowed, but probably can't push that too far. He might have to then defer to Tai Yukamoto with Tai's 3-hit night. Quinn, though, has done good things, both at the plate and on the bump. A hit batter, a wild pitch, and a base hit have added to the Pickles' lead. The first pitch to Connor Stewart misses. The 1-0 pitch is lined into left center field for a base hit. Houston Wheeler gets the ball back in. Nobody out in the inning, and Brook Knight, whether he has anybody in the pen or not, it has that feeling, quite honestly, tonight of a lost cause. 3 big games coming up against Walla Walla. Quinn may be asked to just to try to finish this thing out, even if he does get into a little bit more trouble. First and second with nobody out. And the Pickles will bring Tony Otis into the game to bat for Britton Beeson. Otis takes a bit high and away, ball 1. Tony started the first 2 ball games. 2 on, nobody out. Top of the 9th inning, 8-0 Portland. Quinn back to the plate with a 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike to Otis. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Otis out of the University of the Pacific has been a key player for the Tigers the last 2 years. Another line drive base hit into right field. And that's 3 hits in the inning and a run. First and third and nobody out. Tony Otis pinch hitting for Beeson. The Pickles now with 10 hits, doubling the Knights' hit total. Otis has started 37 games each of the last 2 years at Pacific, and Brook Knight is on his way out to the mound. And if too many more runs come on the board, we may have to reconsider, just in terms of Quinn was all set up through 3 scoreless innings, a base hit, and a walk. But here in the 9th has encountered some difficulty. A hit batter, a wild pitch, 3 straight hits have ensued. Quinn will come out. It's still been a good outing for Quinn. He kept the Knights in this thing, but the bats just have not come to life. It looks like Dominic Tatone is going to get the opportunity. Had the real pleasure of meeting Dominic's father, Ben, last night. Dominic coming into the ball game here in the ninth, with the Pickles having opened up an 8-0 lead, have 2 on and nobody out. A 2-minute pitching change break coming up. All Pickles tonight. Dominic Tatone will try to get the Knights to the bottom of the ninth. 8-0 Portland back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Dominic Tatone into the ball game in the top of the 9th inning. The Knights trailing the Portland Pickles by a score of 8-0. Dominic will try to keep it that way, but the Pickles looking to try to add on. They already scored a run. They have the bases loaded and nobody out. Dominic Tatone facing Tyler Harries. The lefty, Western Oregon bound, delivers a first pitch strike. No balls and 1 strike the count. Dominic making his 16th appearance. He's been a workhorse, 25 1/3, 20 hits, 15 walks, 21 strikeouts, a record of 4-0. An ERA of 3.19, delivers low and in. 1 ball and 1 strike to the right-hand hitting shortstop, who's lined into a double play, bounced into a fielder's choice, and twice popped out to Thomas Ferraggiaro at second. Bases loaded, nobody out. Tatone delivers, swung on and fouled at the plate. 1-2 to Tyler Harries. Jack Mecho on deck. 1,432 in attendance. My thanks that Linda Barger was among them. Thank you for the delicious blueberries and watermelon she plied me with here tonight. The 1-2 pitch, a 1-hopper to Yukamoto. Goes to Ferraggiaro for 1 and to first for the double play. 6-4-3 double play. On the play, Kevin Ferguson comes in to score. But that's well done by Dominic Tatone. The Pickles lead it 9-0. And that will bring to the plate Jack Mecho. Mecho swings at the first pitch and rolls it slowly foul. No balls and 1 strike the count. Connor Stewart at third base with 2 down in the top of the 9th inning. When the Knights bat in the bottom half, Kaysen Concerina, Coulter McAnally, Luke Lavin, the scheduled hitters, Tatone delivers high and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Walla Walla here tomorrow for Philomath Knight. We'll have the Ben Lead conversation before the game tomorrow. The 1-1 pitch away, ball 2, 2-1. Really enjoyable visiting with Ben, and it reminded me of the conversation with Dominic Tatone. Just young men who are so thankful for the opportunity to be pitching for the Knights and to be continuing their collegiate career and being part of the Knights in this ballpark. The 2-1 pitch, sprayed foul down the right field line. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, people not taking things for granted by any means. The blessing of being able to play the game and to be able to play in this community before these great Knights fans that have not had much to cheer about tonight, but so many of the crowd of 1,432 still here. 7-time consecutive champion Knights certainly have earned that. The 2-2 pitch from Dominic, high and away, ball 3, 3-2. 4 straight home games beginning the final week of the regular season. The Knights will have 2 with Bend at home next Saturday and Sunday, the last 6 games of the regular season coming up. The 3-2 pitch from Dominic misses low for ball 4. Jack Mecho has had quite a night in terms of finding his way on base. That's an important aspect to Jack's game. He draws walks. His batting average hasn't been quite what he might have hoped, I would think, here this summer, but he continues to make his presence felt. Tonight, he's singled twice, he's walked twice, he's been aboard on an error. Armando Briseño, the hitter, with 2 on and 2 out. Pop up on the right side. Second baseman Thomas Ferraggiaro goes back to get it. The inning is over. The Pickles get 2 insurance runs to take with them to the bottom of the 9th. They leave 2. We'll see a new pitcher coming in from out of the bullpen in the left field area through the gate and onto the field. We'll take a final 2-minute pitching change break. Unless the Knights can dive into that bullpen a little bit more deeply as we go in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Pickles 9 and the Knights nothing. Back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. 9-0 Pickles as we move to the bottom of the 9th inning on this pleasant, cooling Sunday evening in the Mid-Valley. Right-hander Carter Delaney, 6'6", 200, out of UC Davis, gets the call. From El Dorado Hills and Oak Ridge High School in California, has attended Pomona Pitzer, didn't play there, and Folsom Lake College. Now with UC Davis and trying to close out what has been an impressive night for the visiting Pickles. Ben Lead, the GNAC Player of the Year, and he'll be our pregame show guest tomorrow. I interviewed Ben after the game last night. We had trouble conveying it. A broken bat, little bouncer to the shortstop, fielded by the shortstop Tyler Harris. Ben Lead is thrown out, one away on the first pitch of the bottom of the 9th inning. We'll hear that conversation with Ben, who, like Dominic Titone, expressed his appreciation for being part of this night's club. Even on a night like this, 9-0 Portland, the Pickles 2 outs away. They will salvage one of the 6 games during the regular season series, and perhaps the 2 shall meet again in the postseason. Kellen Siegel now pinch hits for Coulter McAnally, and Delaney delivers. It's fouled straight back. Carter making his 7th appearance, 6 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts in 6 1/3 for the big righty who kicks and comes, and Kellen Siegel swings and misses. No balls and 2 strikes. Kellen batting for Coulter McAnally. 9-0 Portland, bottom of the 9th inning. The strike 2 pitch taken a little bit high and away by Kellen. Kellen at 268 with 6 runs batted in. I saw his brother Caden throwing a football out in the outfield before the game. The 1-2 pitch on the way. A check swing on appeal. The question is, did he go? And he did. Strike 3, and the tag applied for out number 2. Caden was throwing the football around, and I asked him if he was playing catch with Cole Snido, one of the night's catchers, just throwing the football around. I asked Caden if that was for fun or for technique or both, and he said both, mainly fun, but he does believe that, he said, a la Tom House, the eccentric pitching guru who introduced the idea of if you throw a football in a spiral and the ball comes out of your hand, that helps with pitching mechanics. Caden is a big believer in that, he told me before the game, and was throwing the football around, but he said mainly for fun. The strike and football season just around the corner. The strike 1 pitch down and away to Cole Snido, by the way, who was on the receiving end of some of Caden's spirals. 1-1 the count to Cole Snido. 9-0 Portland, 2 outs, nobody on, bottom of the 9th. Delaney delivers. Fouled into the netting in the count, 1-2. The Knights will be back to try to get back on the winning track, something they've been on forever, it seems, in this community. A tough one tonight. They're about to go down to a defeat to the Pickles. They trail at 9-0. 2 down, nobody on in the bottom of the 9th inning. But Walla Walla here, 6:35 tomorrow. Nice swing by Cole Snido. Takes it back up the middle for a base hit. Good for Cole. A 2-out single. Cole appearing in his 14th game at 256. Hikes the average a little bit, and the batter will be Houston Wheeler. Houston has struck out all 3 times, so he too is looking for a little better note on which to end the ball game. The Pickles lead at 9-0 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Philomath night tomorrow, Old Timers night on Tuesday, Halloween in July, and the final day of July on Thursday. Wheeler hits one foul down toward the TNT Builders party deck. No balls and 1 strike. By the way, thank you. Somebody texted and said, Dustland Fairy Tale. That's the tune I've been Striving to Reach from the Killers. Dustland Fairy Tale. My favorite song by them. No balls and a strike. Wheeler swings and misses, and the count 0-2. A 2-out single from Cole Snido, the third consecutive pinch hitter, after Ben Lead and Kellen Siegel had opportunities to hit. Snido with a base hit in the ninth. Now Wheeler down in the count, 0-2 with 2 down, swings and misses. Tough night for Houston. He goes 0 for 4 with the 4 punch-outs, and the ball game is over. An impressive performance. The Pickles 9 runs, 10 hits, and an error. The Knights no runs, 6 hits, and 4 errors. Certainly an impressive performance by Portland, which salvages 1 game of the 6 games in the regular season series. The 2 may meet again in the postseason. We'll see. That's just around the corner. Up next immediately for the Corvallis Knights, a chance to shake themselves after a very uncharacteristic performance tonight, losing 9-0 to the Pickles, who picked up 4 runs in the first inning and 3 runs in the third, added 2 for insurance in the ninth. The Pickles do prevail by a final score of 9-0 to improve to 32-13. The Knights drop to 34-11. The Pickles at 15-5 in South Division play in the second half. The Knights at 12-6. Our thanks to the Albany Youth Orchestra for their excellent rendition of the national anthem before the game. And thanks indeed to all of you for tuning our way tonight. For Evan Bach, Brian Thomas, and Andrew Roderick, and Garrett Dworshak, this is Mike Parker thanking you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow night, especially those of you from Philomath. Get here and you never know what's coming your way. A surprise night for citizens of Philomath tomorrow. 6:25, Ben Lead will be our pregame show guest. The Pickles get the final game of the series and of the 6-game regular season series. All Portland tonight. The Pickles 9, the Knights nothing. We'll see you tomorrow night at 6:25 right back here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. So long, everybody.